What's going on, everybody? And welcome to episode 124 the Pre-Patch Podcast. That really hurt my
That was
throat.
loud. That was
Just saying.
fucking loud. That hurt my ears.
Oh, cry about it, baby. That's what you
Cry
told
about
me.
it, bitch.
Yeah. Oh man. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. We're down a pre-patch. We're down a PP. We're one PP down.
PP.
Down a PP.
Hopefully 3 PPs is enough.
Yeah. Hey man.
Would be enough for most. I would.
I mean,
Generally, it's enough for most, but you know,
depends on who's
You never
counting,
know.
I guess. How many holes you got to fill.
This is a degen generation, so you know.
Wait, did we make it 8 seconds without cussing?
nope.
No. Did I cuss in the first 8 seconds?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't. You're
Oh,
just
it just
assuming?
comes-
You're just
It
saying
just,
I did?
it just comes so
It
naturally
just-
out of your mouth that I just
Wow.
assumed that you did.
Wow.
With the power of YouTube, I can go back and double check it.
Yeah. Let's see. Chat, go back and see. Did I cuss in the first 8 seconds? That's the goal. That's the goal. That is only. I don't care if the entire podcast goes to crap, but if I can get without cussing in the first 8 seconds, it's a success. It's a win. It's a win. So, but welcome in, everybody. It is episode 124. Like we said, we are missing our infamous skinny hater, I guess, the Ohioan, the
Horny
A24
boy.
lover.
Horny boy.
Um,
Yeah.
He's our local horny boy now, according to Bite of Whiskey. So
Yeah, that was a good one. I have to give him that. Bill, do me a
We
favor.
needed 12 seconds, and Enigma was the first one to cuss.
Oh, Enigma.
I was the
It
first one.
was you.
What did I say?
You said, "Cry, bitch."
There it is. Bill, can
I
you
don't
give me
consider
a
bitch a cuss word. Fuck is more
Nah.
of a cuss word than anything, really.
Nah,
let's be
nah.
real.
Bill? Can you give me a whoa and like 3, 2, 1, go?
Whoa.
All right, there we go. Good. All right, cool. Just wanted to. I had to rotate you. I had to turn you. I had to turn you on the show so that you were facing the wall like you'd gotten in trouble, like you were in
I got you, bud.
detention. So I had to flip you. So there we go. Well, anyway, it's gonna be a good show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. There's some good. There's some bad. There's some. I don't know. Some all the way around. Some bullshittery. But it's it's another week. So. Let's just not
Just
even.
another week in the
Just-
gaming
just-
industry these
yeah,
days.
right? We're not even going to waste time. We're going to get right fucking into it. So we're going to talk about video games that we have played. And
Hell yeah.
actually, surprisingly, shockingly, the person that bitched at me about making sure that his camera was fucking right in case he wanted to stream,
But the-
threw up a
the-
stream
the thing-
today, the first
thing
time in
is,
fucking 7
My
months.
camera is still not right.
It's right for us. It's just not right for you.
Like I have like
Cry about it,
an
bitch.
inch worth of fucking material between me and my head and the top of the fucking thing.
Anyway, Enigma played a game, and this game was called Asaka or Asuka or Aske or whatever.
Asuka, something like that. Yeah,
I feel like
it's
we're upsetting a game developer.
Okay, no, it's pronounced it's ASKA, and I don't is it Asuka? Is it Asuka?
I'm
Okay,
pretty sure it's
Asuka.
Asuka. I don't know for sure. It might be Asuka. I'm not sure. I'm not from Denmark. I don't know if it has anything to do with it or not. But
Is that where the game is from?
yeah, it's I
Denmark?
don't know. It's where it's at. Like it's a Norse game in general. So I don't know if that's anything to do with like Asuka is some kind of like Norse mythology or Norse theme. I don't personally know about it. So
I thought
I don't
Norse
know,
was
but-
Norway.
All I'm
it could
saying is
be.
this Valheim update looks wild.
right.
Okay, talk about the game that you're.
So yeah, Asuka, whatever it is, it's a if you didn't know, there's a little bit of event going on right now. We'll talk about it in here in a few. There's a bunch of demos going out right now for survival games, everything like that. Asuka, I'm just gonna label it Asuka. I'm sorry if I'm mislabeling it or if I'm saying the name wrong. Correct us in the comments. I don't know. Asuka is a survival game in the same arc as like Valheim would be, right? It's set in,
So it's a
in
Valheim-esque.
Norse mythology. But yeah, basically, yeah. If we can go down that route, it's got Souls-like as well. Maybe it'll be a Souls-like esque as well. You
It's
know,
Marvel Rivals.
Or a,
esque,
The
too.
only thing I'm seeing Souls like about it is the shitty camera angles.
or what was the other one from the other day? Tarkov-esque. Maybe it's a Tarkov-esque. You never know. But it's a survival game with a mix of colonies, like a colony sim, like a colony builder in it. Which we haven't seen too terribly much
That's
I mean,
pretty
we've seen
cool.
it a little bit in the recent future with games like Sengoku Dynasty and like those other games that I think Medieval Dynasty is another one. But yeah, this is along those same lines where you're set in a world, you have to go in there, you build up a settlement. The further that you go inside of the progression of the game, you have to place down this Eye of Odin thing that like summons villagers to you. It like finds villagers on the island and summons them towards you, and then you can put those villagers to work doing things like gathering wood, gathering stone, everything like that. So it's a very it does remind me extremely a lot of Valheim. I haven't gotten too far into it, unfortunately. I played this a little bit before I started watching the Sony State of Play or whatever it is today. So I only got like 20 minutes worth of game time into it. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a decent little survival game from the little bit that I played then before the event, and then I played a little bit last night as well. It
What
seems
state
like
is
it's
it in right now? Is this alpha,
right
beta,
now
or
gotta be
this
early
is
access?
this is early access. Yeah, right
Okay.
now this is early access. I don't even know if it's in alpha right now just yet. It might be in alpha. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's early access. I think it releases into early access in the next couple weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I saw something about that in the
June
next couple of
20th,
weeks.
it'll
June 20th.
release.
There you go. So next, a couple
So
of
wait,
months,
it's
actually.
in early access and it's releasing June 20th.
No, it's going into early access June 20th. Right
Oh.
now, it's being made available as a demo because of the event that's going on
Okay,
right now
okay,
on
okay.
Steam. So
Okay.
it is going into early access. It is definitely in early access. You can definitely tell. The quality of it, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily of a high enough quality to be like it's a it's Valheim quality, because Valheim, when it released in a very good state. Like it did, and as far as like early access games go, Valheim's at the top of that list, right? Like they did an extremely good job, but this one's not too terrible. Like it really doesn't seem like it's going to be that bad. A lot of people are complaining that it's really grindy. From what I've seen, I mean, it's a survival game. It's supposed to be pretty grindy. I've heard a lot of people complaining that they feel like they're doing all the chores, but I've also seen a lot of people basically stating that you haven't gotten far enough in the game yet, if that's the case, because like once you get a couple of villagers, the villagers take over those roles of like gathering rock, gathering
That's cool.
stone, gathering trees. They kind of take over the menial tasks and kind of
Okay.
allow you to better build up your settlement and build up your city and everything like that. So
That's dope.
it kind of also takes into like a little bit of consideration games like 7 Days to Die almost in some cases. There's these blood moon events that happen on occasion where you'll just get attacked by like, I think when I had it happen, I had a blood moon of like these undead like I I can't remember what they were called, but they were like zombies essentially. And
Okay.
I got attacked by like 5 or 6 of them and had to kind of defend my little lean-to shack and my little my shitty fireplace from them destroying the start to my city. So it's I think it's got good bones. I really do.
Is it multiplayer?
What you're seeing right now, it is multiplayer. I think it's up to 3 players co-op.
Okay.
So it is multiplayer. It's not massive multiplayer, unfortunately. I think Valheim has a mod that you can have like upwards of like 60 people on a server at some point.
You know
So
what would be cool about this is
Yeah.
that if they could have done like a more, and again maybe they can, right? It's early access, but if they were to do like a PvP style, I mean, leave it to Sen to always want fucking
I was
just
about to
Right,
say,
yeah.
the
Leave it to me.
The warden needs to exist in
I
every
Of
world.
course.
I'm just saying, but think about it. Like it'd be kind of cool to have like your own survival thing, but like you could go and pillage another person's base that is being manned by their own like little army that they've built up and recruited. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be kind of cool.
I mean it could happen in the future. You never know. With it not being released and going into early access, it's very possible that maybe they will add some kind of like PvP-esque system into the actual game. I can see where you're coming from with that at least. But yeah, I think it's they want to focus more on the PvE. It's like that would be like adding PvE or PvP to Valheim. I don't see it working in general. but I do see what you're talking about where it comes to like being able to like build a city that's a defensible city from PvP and
Yeah.
allowing almost to an extent of oh fuck, what is that? Was that Conan Exiles, right?
Mhm.
Conan Exiles is kind of like that, where you
Yeah.
go out and you gather thralls and then you build your base and they kind of defend your base. That'd be kind of cool. I
Yeah.
could see that. I would enjoy that. Yeah. But yeah, right now it's just it's in very early stages. There's not a whole lot that I've like really gathered with it. From what I can tell, that's the general like gameplay loop is you create your city, you create your settlements, and you get attacked every once in a while by things. I don't know if they've developed past that. I haven't actually seen any of that. Again, like I said, I've only put in maybe I think 2 hours into this game right now, and it's a demo. So it's one of those things where it's like I don't want to put in a ton of hours into it just because I don't know.
It's a demo.
I don't know how.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a demo. I don't know.
carry over probably.
Exactly. I don't know how much content there is in the game, but from the content that is in the game currently, it seems like it's good. It does seem like a good time. I think I like the realism where like when you chop down a tree, the tree actually falls, and then you have to process that tree down into like other things. So like you chop the tree down, you have to then chop the tree that you chop down into smaller branches. You get bark from that, you get sticks from that, and then you can process that down even further into like firewood. I'm sure that later on down the road you'll have to process those things down into like planks and everything like that to make like larger buildings and everything like that. So it's yeah, I mean if you like Valheim, I think that it's probably going to be a good time. That's as far as I've gotten so far. Again, it's not. I didn't have all that much time. I just wanted to showcase it a little bit. I've got another one that I want to put a little bit more time into that we'll probably review next week. That looks really promising. This one looks really promising as well. I'm really hoping that hoping that it'll give you the same freedom for sea travel that Valheim gives you, because I haven't seen anything like that. But like I do know that there is a sea, and there was a monster inside of that sea when I first entered into the game. So I'm curious to see if there is sailing and how good that sailing is, right? Because like Valheim set the bar up here, right? Like their sailing is top notch in Valheim. So we'll see.
Is that like a ping that you're sending out?
Yeah,
like
that is one of the complaints that I have about this game. So that's it. That's a way that you can like find materials around you.
I was about to say it just shrinks all the foliage around
yeah,
you.
That's the way that
awkward.
you can. That's the way you can find materials, and that's one of the annoyances that I have with the game is like materials are very hard to find in all the foliage, like the rocks and everything like that. If they didn't add that, you would completely miss 9/10
I just think
of the
it's funny how it's implemented. Like I want to know the lore implications on this golden light that comes out from you that shrinks all the plants.
But it has a progression system in it. Like the more that you forage, like you'll just saw me level up. I think on creating a fire. Like there's a skill for fire tending, right? There's a skill for crafting, for construction, for foraging, everything like that. So it's I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what it gives you, like what kind of progression loop it gives you, and how far into that progression loop it can take you. Because if they're going to go down the route of, again, Valheim, it's the closest thing that we can kind of compare it to. Valheim, those are big shoes. Like you've got a ton of bosses from Valheim. If that's what they're going to go down is like going out to you in the world and taking out bosses, that's going to be a very interesting take, because what happens if your village gets attacked while you're out there, fighting a boss? Like it's going to be a very interesting.
Preston Garvey comes out and say that,
right?
It's got
a village needs help right now.
The developer is Sand Sailor Studio, and they have created Black the Fall, boss in a game called Boss Guard.
Why is Black the Fall so familiar? I think I've heard of that.
I don't know. It came out in 2017. Yeah. I don't know. It's mostly positive. One of the games was mostly positive. The other one was mixed review. Both of them, though, this is a big step in the opposite direction
from what they're used to. Yeah, for sure. But
interesting.
I don't know, man.
It looks cool.
I'm looking forward to checking it out. It does look cool. It seems like it's going to be fun. I didn't have any issues. So far, the biggest complaint that I had is again the fact that you got to use that weird little, circle of golden light to find shit. That's been my
Oh.
biggest complaint so far. Other than that, the game seems to run well. All the systems that they have implemented currently seem to work well with each other.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
nothing's broken. So I mean, that's about as good as we can get in 2024 these days.
Right.
Good deal.
All right. Well, there you go. That was okay. Again, we're gonna butcher Oscar. It comes out on the 20th. You can play the demo right now. And it is, you can wishlist it currently.
Oh, whoops.
So yeah, so that is Oscar. All right. Well, let's move on. So man, I was so torn because I came this close to picking up Killer Clowns. But I decided not to. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I've watched it. I do want to talk
I've
little bit
heard
about
weird reviews about it, man. In one case, I've hear people that are just like, it's amazing. And then in the other case, I've heard people that are just like, why did they create this? This is so fucking stupid.
So I mean,
that's kind of Killer Clowns in a nutshell.
Well,
If you
right,
think about it.
True.
like if I do end up picking it up and we do end up actually doing a full review of it, you'll get to understand a little bit more. This was the same developers that did Friday the 13th. They did a full tilt into the comedic, like, we're not taking it seriously bullshit, which they needed to, right? Like you if you're gonna do Killer Clowns from Outer Space, you can't go super serial like DBD. And it really plays on it. Like, the everything is like the clown apocalypse is coming and clowntalities and
the question is, do you have the insane clown posse in there? Is that a thing that you can play?
No.
Why is Steam recommending it as similar games that you've played? Dead by Daylight. Makes sense.
Elden
Ring.
Well, I can see it. I can
Similar to
see
games
it.
you played. Elden Ring. What?
Oh man, that's funny. I don't know. It definitely is something that I'm keeping. Like every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try it. No, I'm not gonna. Here's the honest to God thing. $30, I would have probably shelled out $30. 25, definitely. 40, it's hard to swallow. Like $40 is hard to swallow. The
issue I got with it is their crossplay is weird. Like it has crossplay where you can play against like PC to console, that kind of thing, but you can't party up with members on other consoles. You can only party up with people on your platform of choice. It's the oddest way to do cross-platform.
That is weird.
I do like also though how they, if you do party up, let's say you party with, because you could go in with 7 people or 10 people. I think the party is 10. It's 7 survivors, 3 clowns. And I love how they, like, if you do go in as a party of like, let's say 6, right? 3 of you may be put on clowns, 3 of you may be put on humans, and it'll split you guys up a little bit.
I don't like that at all, actually.
See, I do. I like that. I like that. I think it's kind of cool. It's like, all right, dope. We can.
So when you're queuing for a game, not a role.
Yes, you're not queuing for a role. Correct. So
I don't like that, but that's just me.
I don't know. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of fun. And the element of like, oh, we're gonna
see a lot of people bouncing out and like, oh fuck, I don't want to play fucking clowns again.
They do have that problem. Like a lot of people are just leaving. Like you'll go in and you'll see where like, oh, a survivor gets, someone's played a survivor and they don't want to play a survivor, so they bounce out, or there's a clown and they bounce out or whatever else. So
yeah.
They do have that, but maybe we'll talk about it if we actually do play it, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, because like I said, we don't have footage on it or anything. But I do want to talk about, I got to get the name of this. What, I always fuck this up. Mullet Mad Jack. This game. Woo, this game.
Okay.
This is a
game.
I
watched him play this, dude. This is a game. It is a game.
It is a game. So Mullet Mad Jack. You can get it as a demo right now. I do highly recommend playing it as a demo if you're going to try it. How do I explain it? So, okay. First off, it's an anime based, like the style is anime, right?
I think anime too, like 80s.
80s. Yeah. It's hardcore synthwave. Like
I think they describe it as an OVA anime game.
Yeah. Yeah, it is legit. Like what I love about it is the art style, the fucking way that they present.
Oh God.
Everything, and like you get to choose this like old VHS overlay, which is what you're seeing here. So like the old school like TV and like the blurry fucking like scan lines and shit go into it. But yeah, it's
I like it.
it's dope. This all looks great. Just wait until you get into the gameplay. So the concept behind this game is you have 10 seconds to live, and you signed up for this service that you are a live streamer, but you're a live streamer that as part of that service, you are almost like a bounty hunter, and so you are out hunting these robot people, and your missions are to save XYZ people. And so this is actual gameplay now. So you are doing things to get like you're doing these creative kills or killing these robots, all this kind of stuff to get like people in your chat to like you. And the way that they say it is basically like when you kill somebody, you get 1 second added to your time. If you kill them in a more like cool fashion, you can get 2 seconds added to your time. And that's your life. And if you get to if your 10 seconds go down, you're dead and you failed. And so that's the premise of the game. And it is this. You are watching, and for anybody that's not watching, and you're watching the after show or whatever else, essentially you are you're going through these narrow corridors, killing robots in a very, very, very quick fashion, and getting to the end of the level. And you go through 10 floors. And each time you go through a floor, you get like you could get like a shotgun, you could get like a new weapon, or something that says like, hey, shoot somebody in the crotch, and then you'll get 5 extra seconds or 4 extra seconds on your life. And this is it. Like it. But
I love this.
I'm gonna be real. I like it. I like it as well. But
this is neat as hell.
I mean, my biggest complaint last night when we were watching it, myself and Stevens were watching him play this last night. I was just like, I like the graphic style, and I like the entire aesthetic of the game. Like the game seems like a really cool idea. The problem with it is like going through that in 10 seconds, you don't have enough time to like enjoy the graphic style and the aesthetics.
Oh yeah, it fucking throws everything in your face. Like it is just sensory fucking overload. And again, yeah, you're moving quick.
It definitely, yeah, I was about to say it definitely like rewards you for like moving through the entire map quicker. Yeah. Right? Like if you get through the map quickly, I would imagine that you're gonna do better. Like if you ignore certain things and only tend to like kill and things that you need to kill. Yeah.
Can you die in other ways?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think you just did. Yeah.
Well, my time ran out. I think you can, maybe you have health and you can get, and like when you get, I don't know, if you get shot there, you don't have enough fucking time to tell. Like
no, there's definitely health there, because you've got the at the bottom, it's status moderate, fine, that kind of thing. So
sure. I don't know, but it like, again, it's cool. Like I understand it and I get it. And as someone that likes speedrunning and someone that like really enjoys like Neon White or whatever else, I think it's really dope. But like I said, the one is $25. That's a little steep. Like, you know, in my opinion, again, I think $20, great price point. $15, even better price point. But you know, hey, price it what you want to price it. But it's definitely intense. Like it is. Yeah. I mean, it is just nonstop in your face, fucking going. Like, and it's supposed to be very remnant of like old school boomer shooters. But like if you were fucking playing Doom on crack, like just speed, you know, and it's cool. I mean, again, it is a very fun time. They do have a mode where I will say that you get to there is no time, and so that you can kind of really experience it, but it really kind of, they do say like this is not the way the game is supposed to be played. It's not meant for this, because the whole objective is to try to get the best time and all that kind of stuff, like when you load into it. You know, maybe I'll try that, maybe I'll load it up and give that a shot and just see, so I can experience it. But Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
that's my only problem with the game though, is like you're moving too quick to really appreciate everything that the game has going on around you. It reminds me very heavily of like, do you remember Katana Zero?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It kind of reminds me of that, but that game at least gave you like the ability to kind of like slow down, be able to enjoy the aesthetics, be able to enjoy the map and what was going on with it. This one it's just, it's like, get to the end, kill, 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 kill.
Yeah, well, there was another game that was like this that I played, and but it was a side scroller, and you got I cannot remember the name of it, but you got a similar like thing, like you had a certain amount of seconds to get to the end. It was slower than this. Like this is obviously like sped the fuck up. But you know it is the same premise. You get a kill, you get help, you get time back. And there you can rewind and go back. And here I don't know. I mean, but you do see like on here, like you're getting new shotguns. You finish the level and it gives you
Challenges.
it gives you new weapons that do different things.
Didn't you have didn't you have a challenge that was like crotch shots?
Yeah, you shoot somebody in the crotch, you get like 4 seconds or some shit. And then you have things like also like you're seeing where the fan, I mean, if you're keeping up with it, the fan, and as the like you can do environmental kills and they'll give you more time. There's different routes that you can take that like you can go through like vents and go faster. Again, like even this dude, like I don't know if impressive is the right word. Like it's definitely something. I don't know how to say it. Like it is cool. Like when you're going on that slide and you're just like you have like the combos moving and you're just like fucking flying through a level and just axing people in the face and just the robots are flicking you off and you're doing all this crazy shit. Like there's a motion that like last night I was very much like, oh, one more match. And even though Stevens was like, I can't watch this, I'm gonna throw the fuck up. I'm like, just one more. Let me just do one more run real quick, just to see if I can do it. Right. And so you definitely get hooked. For sure. I don't know.
I think it's real cool.
Yeah. I don't know what the replay value of it is. And maybe on a controller, it would be even better. And maybe like on the Steam Deck, it would do really, really well. I've heard that it does really well on a Steam Deck. There it is. Nut shot bonus. Shoot your enemies in the crotch gives you extra second bonus. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, Mullet Mad Jack. It's out there. You can go get it. It's like I said, it's on sale right now for $24.99. You can you can download the demo, play through the demo, and give it a shot if you wanna to try it out. I don't know. Let me see if I can get the developer for it real quick because Mullet Mad Jack is made by Hammer 95. Overwhelmingly positive, by the way, and 2,362, which is not surprising, honestly. Like games like this always do, like I think, really well.
I think this is
their first game. Yep, this is their first game. And I stand corrected. $20.
$20.
$20. So I will bring back what I said. Let me put the footage. I'll bring back what I said. $20. I think it's worth $20. I think it's a $20 purchase. That's worth it. Like, I think you can have fun with it if you like this style of game. So I would give it a shot for $20. All right. Let's move on to the other game that both myself and Enigma jumped into. Let me try to get past all the bullshit that I had to go through because that was fucking great. You guys heard of a game called No Man's Sky?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, never heard of it.
Yep. Well, myself and Enigma and Pika and some other members are back to playing back into No Man's Sky. Yeah. What do you mean it was? I don't know why just people are chatting. It was bullshit. I don't know. I'm assuming what he's complaining about is what we're going to get to.
Complaining about the map,
the fucking worm. Yeah. So why we got sucked back into it? One is just I just had an urge to go back and play it and just be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. Like I'm going to go in and I want to jump back in and give it a shot again. Because I always get this random itch where I'm just like, hey, you know what? No Man's Sky, like, it for every
Let's see what they've updated.
Well, not just that, but for all intents and purposes, like it really is. And I want to say a perfect game, like, but it's damn close to just being a really good game. If you like survival, if you like open world, if you want procedurally generated, like you want all of those elements to just do what you want to do, like it's a really good game. And there's a lot of content. So anyway, yes, they happen to have dropped the new mode or new expedition, which is Adrift. This one I will have to say I think I will agree with Pika. It is kind of bullshit. Like the I
It's like it's like those Minecraft mods where you're like abandoned on an island and you have to like find resources to like get off the island and that kind of thing, right?
So the new expedition is all about like they label it as like a new way to play to play No Man's Sky. I think it's called Adrift, right? No Man's Sky Adrift.
Yeah.
So essentially the whole premise is like there's no more life in the universe, right? Like everything, or at least life as we know it, as we've played it in the past, right? So like when you get to Atlas, there's nobody on the Atlas, right? When you get into the anomaly, there's literally nobody on the anomaly. When you go into like space stations, there's nobody on space stations. Space stations are all like busted up and downtrodden and broken and everything like
you can
that.
salvage stuff from them though, right?
I probably later on. I don't know about early on. I haven't seen anything, but I do know that there is new with the last update that they did do stuff for salvaging and parts and everything like that for your ship. So I would assume so. I would assume so. But yeah, it's essentially the entire idea is that like they dropped you on this dead planet and you have to try and scavenge that dead planet for resources to be able to rebuild your ship or at least repair it and then continue on. Think of it as like No Man's Sky hardcore, like back in the day.
Okay.
If you guys played the original No Man's Sky, like the hard mode from the original No Man's Sky was really, really hard. Like it was tough if you got fucked on a planet. If you got set on a planet that was just like barren, that's essentially what you got set onto.
You're on a barren planet for damn sure. There's also for anybody that's wondering that is watching again live as we're doing it or the VOD, the screen shaking is not something fucked with my rig. It's not something weird happening with your computer. It is a massive or a pair of massive fucking sandworms that are just constantly fucking screaming. And it sounds like the Inception horn. And it happens every like 6 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
And it is fucking stop. You can't kill the fuckers. You can't get them to stop. And you see it right there in the background. Cool concept. Like dope, dude. Like we're on this planet. This massive fucking worm is everywhere or whatever else. But it is just nonstop. Wah! Wah! It's like, oh my God. And poor Pika somehow got, I don't know, like he could get off of it. Some of this is because Pika just chose not to read the fucking directions, but can't
you read, mister?
You needed a certain material to get off of the fucking thing. And Pika's like, I can't fucking get off the rock because the thing I need is up in space and I don't know how to fucking do this or whatever else. And like, it went on for like an hour. And then finally I was like, what is it that you need to get off the thing? And he's like, I need tritium. And I was like, oh, that's on the planet. You just have to use this one and this one in this new backpack that they give you that allows you to combine two materials and refine it into another one.
That's not new. That's
new to me. So new to me or whatever else. And so anyway, he was able to get the fuck off of the island or this planet. So I hope that Adrift is not completely all barren, because I will say, like, some of the thing that I loved about it was, the aspect of meeting not only real players but also NPCs, right? Seeing them kind of just actively, like the organicness that happened of like whenever ships would show up and stuff. It may not happen, right? Like maybe I don't know if it's just the sector that we're on that will not have. And everybody, by the way, everybody starts on the same planet. If it's the whole universe is fucking downtrodden and shot.
From everything that I've seen, it could be that like the whole idea could be that you're trying to restore life, and that's kind of what it might seem like as you're moving further into the actual like storyline of the expedition. But everything that I've seen, like every planet, every space station, every system that I've gone to, it seems like everything is dead. Everything's barren. There's nobody
sucks,
left,
man.
so.
Like I mean, some of the
I mean, it's an
aspect of
optional game mode though, so
It is an optional game. You could go and play the regular and be right back to it. But yeah, this is just the expedition. So
well, yeah, but part of the expedition is getting the expedition stuff.
it
And
is.
like,
It
you know,
is, and that's why I'm thinking that maybe that's the whole idea. Is like they're trying to like you're trying to build back to what it was before by going through the expedition. So, but I don't know. I'm like I think I'm like the second, like halfway through the second portion of the expedition. So
oof.
I'm not entirely sure.
I love chat's low blow there. So they're going down the Starfield approach with a bunch of barren islands or barren planets. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
maybe
well, the planets aren't barren. There's still life on the planets. I'm talking about the space stations and like the extraterrestrial intelligent life. There's still things on the planets as you're going down. Like there's still animals and shit on the planets. It's not like every planet you go to is completely dead.
no, yeah, because we went to that.
I'm just talking about like the outposts and everything like that have all been abandoned. The starship, the starships and everything like that are all abandoned and like broken down and everything.
I think that there's got to be something because one, I know that we'll show it here in a second when we get to the news, but in the expedition notes they talk about like one, you can get like I think it's like the haunted ship, and you can get like the haunted workers, the
haunted capital ship or whatever they're called. I forget what they call them. They have I think it's like a skin. Honestly, I don't know if it's like the whole ship is new or whatnot, but like I think it's a skin that you can apply to your freighters and like your frigates and everything like that. But yeah,
there's
that's
also
part of the whole thing.
they still do have like all of the like Gek statues and trader.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it is something that they are gonna later on, but it definitely feels like they're almost going for, in my opinion, like a Marvel, like a reboot where they're like, cool, this is like it, because I think No Man's Sky is coming to its end of its journey, right? Like I think
because Hello Games is working on that other game, right?
Right. Like I mean, maybe they'll continue to put out
they got that
expeditions,
new
but
one.
I thought we heard that like there was maybe like 2 more expeditions and then they're kind of done with it. I mean, maybe not. I mean, maybe
I don't know if they've ever stated that yet, but we do know that they are working on another game, and it is to the expanse of No Man's Sky. So I don't know. We'll see.
So but this just sounds like a lot of like them like kind of rebooting the universe, and which is a cool way of doing it. I mean, it's very Final Fantasy 14-esque, being like, hey, you know what? This cataclysmic event happened, and now
it would be cool if in doing this they reset it so that people could go back to some of those old expeditions. Like if they do reset it, they'd now flip it back to where now we're back on Expedition 1. Right, because that's one thing that's always that's kind of bugged me is that like once you've missed the expedition, you've missed any chance of getting anything off of those expeditions.
Dude, there's some dope fucking ships too, man. Like we saw that one yesterday. Some really cool ones. That was a living ship, and that one was fucking cool. Which that definitely is kind of sad. I was trying to see if I can get to where's that planet.
You can get those ships, those living ships. That's not something that the expedition has done. That's something that they've added in with that specific update. So you can get the living ships anytime you want to. You just have to find them. I'm just talking about like expedition rewards, like the decorative items, the capes, the helmets, stuff like that. Like they give you like ships, like there's certain ships that you could only get from the expeditions, everything like that. So those are the kinds of things that I'm like, that would be cool if that's their whole idea, is like restarting and basically like reforming the world to maybe move back to what we had originally. That would be kind of cool to have the ability to re-access some of those original expeditions and some of the rewards that you got from those original expeditions. That would be cool in my eyes, at least.
It definitely feels though like every world you go to is a suck ass world, because here's the next suck ass world that we were on, which was the entire thing was a fucking radioactive hellscape that just had nothing but storms and shit and little islands. Like the littlest, smallest place for you to fucking land.
You chose to land on the smallest fucking island on an entire planet.
Storm. How am I supposed to know? For fuck's sake. Anyway, I don't know. It's cool. Like it's a good time. We've always said every time we go back to it, like the game came out in 2016. It is quickly approaching 10 years old. which is wild, right?
Yeah.
That game is almost 10 years old. And it's still a banger. It definitely is worth your time. I think you can get it for fucking hella cheap. Like it's got to be like, let me see, No Man's Sky. It literally has to be.
Not generally. No, No Man's Sky goes on sale.
It's on.
but
It's
I think
50% off right now.
Yeah,
you can get it for
it goes
30
on
bucks.
sale quite often, but yeah, generally I think it stays upwards of like whatever the original price is. I think it's $59.99. Generally, it stays around that.
Well,
price.
still, even that, it's still worth $60. Like even at the $6 price
100%,
tag.
yeah, with the amount of content that they've added throughout their entire career of like updating this game, it's well worth the $60 for sure. So.
And I actually booted it up recently in VR, still, and with the new MetaQuest, dude. It's MetaQuest 3 VR with this VR is fucking amazing.
They did a really good job with the VR version of this. So
yeah, I will say it'll make you fucking sick though. You will get motion sick if
as most
if
VR titles.
So, with that though, we will talk about. We're moving into the news section, but we're gonna talk. Here's the Adrift, the actual kind of talk about what they did, and we'll play the trailer here. This is the No Man's Sky trailer for Adrift, and this is their new expedition. So again, I mean, yeah, I mean everything is pretty barren, and it was funny when somebody came in my my chat and said, "Oh, it looks a lot like Dune. Like you're just on like Araxis or whatever that world is called." So
a lot of tentacles.
A lot of tentacles. That's right up your alley, Bill. That's just all for you, man.
Play now.
So, yeah, you don't even see what's odd though is, and I don't understand is so you don't see people when they're on the anomaly.
Again, that's you can see them like landing and shit, right?
Yeah, you
like,
see them in your world.
You can see their ships.
It's
like, weird.
I was fucking just I loaded up like and was brand new, and then I just saw a dude right next to me, and I'm like, is this an NPC? And I watched, and sure enough, no, it was a real person. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, where are you from, or whatever? So
yeah,
and it was a real person.
So No Man's Sky has stated that that the Drift lets players experience Hello Games' long-running space exploration game in an alternative universe in which they can truly be alone for the first time, which is kind of stupid to say because when they first released, that's how it was when they first released. Yeah, that makes no sense to me. But Adrift removes all NPCs, which means no shops, which is incorrect. There is still shops. You can still trade. No trading, which again is incorrect. You can still trade. No shortcuts. I don't know what they mean by that, but I'm assuming like when I was playing previously, you could like make your base and make a bunch of like growing vats and shit and just make a shit ton of credits easily by just selling that shit to NPCs and everything like that. So, and no help. This makes a more dangerous survival experience. Hello Games has said with sandworms now roaming free, fiend eggs spreading across the planet, which fiend eggs are the aliens. If you've ever played the game before, there's like these little outposts that you can find that are like infested by aliens, and they're annoying, but they're not really that dangerous, honestly. But buildings are broken and rusted, and the worlds are littered with graves and lost travelers. So, in space, a new ghostly frigate, that's what they are, frigates, beckons players who wish to unravel the mystery at the heart of this new universe. Hello Games has teased to new players a new bulky dropship called the Iron Vulture is made available, which is kind of cool. I do like the way that looks. It's like I don't know if they have pictures of it on there. They do at the bottom of that or closer to the bottom. If you can scroll down there, yeah, right there, that one. That looks really cool. To me, that looks like it looks like they took inspiration from the ship. It looks like a Dune Mandalorian. Ship. Yeah,
that and kind of. I mean, I kind of get a Dune-esque ship.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. So you can get that from doing the expedition. You can get that that ghostly space frigate, which looks dope as shit. That looks really cool. Thing, right? I like that a lot. Yeah, the one with like the green background or the green clouds.
Yeah,
in it, which is really fucking cool. That to me, that's going to be like the penultimate reward from completing this. I think, honestly, I think you get a new like companion. It's like a single-eyed companion. And then you get like wrecked ship base parts that you can get, which are like what's called like wrecked and broken and rusted space parts that you can customize your spaceships with. So it's I mean expeditions have always been one of those things that I think that Hello Games did a really good job with adding, right? It kind of gave you a reason to come back to the game and re-experience it, which is something that you kind of need whenever they do these big huge updates, because like No Man's Sky has become it's kind of become like a Path of Exile, right? Like there's so much content in it that like starting new is sometimes the better way of doing it, because like at that point you can kind of get a refresher course of how to play the game, you know?
Yeah.
at least in my eyes. I don't know if that's the same with you or not, but
Yeah, no, I mean it's what's enjoyable about the game is that you, aside from the fact that you can't, go back and get the expedition stuff later
Yeah.
on, which I do wish they really would change, but
I'm really hoping that that's what they're going down with this whole thing, is like you said, like restarting the world and then starting to go back
yeah,
and
but I
and
mean it's
recycle
just
some of those old ones.
it's one of those things where I am just like, hey man, like this is a game where you could jump in, and if you want to PvP and be a bounty hunter, PvP and be a bounty hunter. If you want to,
Yep.
if you want to go in and just explore and go see a bunch of different worlds, it's endless. I mean, it's just you keep going and you can find a bunch of cool shit. You could do the base building. It really is something for everybody. Which
Yeah.
I think a lot, like you look at Star Citizen, you look at Elite Dangerous, you look at Starfield, you look at these games, and they try to be this. And I think that a lot of people maybe forget sometimes that No Man's Sky is out there, and they shouldn't. Like it really is a phenomenal game, and it's worth $60 and definitely is fucking worth 30. Like
Yeah.
So well, cool. Well, that was No Man's Sky. Well, let's talk about another game that is been around for a fucking long time, and they're trying to reinvent, I don't know if themselves, but they're reinventing a membership. Good old wait, nope, not that one, this one. Good old Rainbow Six Siege. $9.99
Yeah.
monthly membership.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this one,
Yes.
Bill.
I was gonna say,
I know how
Bill,
to
as
feel
like
about
the-
this. You
as
feel,
like
you
the
feel
be
bad
all end
about
all
it.
for that. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Because like to me, this just seems like a cash grab. Like this,
Oh,
that's all.
100%.
That's all it seems to me. I don't know. But I don't have my thumb on the pulse of Rainbow Six Siege, right?
This is one of those RPG nobody liked that decisions. It's real dumb, man. And the worst part about it is they didn't really add any particular thing of value to make people like, at least to make me want to get
so
this.
what are they-
so
what are they
what you
giving
get.
you? Yeah, because I have no clue.
so you get 10 levels in the battle pass automatically,
What do you
whenever-
fucking do, right?
and the battle pass comes with this. So,
Okay.
every single
That's,
time,
that's
right?
not bad, at least.
yeah, every season but you have to remember, season's like 2 or 3 months, and this is a monthly re-up. So if the battle pass
shit,
comes
that's
out
right.
on the month that you are on this, you get the battle pass. You
So-
get 10 levels on the battle pass, which the battle pass is short as shit anyway. If you even play the game like a couple hours once a week, you'll be able to
Yeah.
complete the battle pass. So that's worthless. You
So
get a Bravo
when-
pack. Oh boy.
whenever you resub, do you get an extra 10 levels? Or like whenever the sub comes back up, do you get an extra 10 levels each time? So altogether for a full battle pass, if it's like 3 months, you're getting 30
I would assume
levels of
so
the battle
because
pass.
it's in the monthly rewards thing. So yeah, I think you
Okay.
get 10 skips per month that you
Interesting.
stay supplied.
And
You get a Bravo pack every month, which is just a loot box.
That's so
I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm sorry to keep going back to the levels. I'm curious if those will carry over.
no. You're not-
Doubt.
No, there's no shot that you're gonna tell me that if you don't like if you complete the battle pass in the first month, that then you're re-upped for another 2 months, that you're gonna get 20 levels in the next month that come up.
I
No,
don't know.
they're not gonna do that shit.
I don't think they're going to. I think it would be
Hell
smart if they
fucking
would do
no.
it, but-
I agree. And so you get the levels, you get the Bravo pack, and then monthly they're going to give you an Epic Skin bundle, which is,
Oh,
in my opinion,
man.
the only valuable thing to this bundle.
Is it
They
worth
ha- they-
$30 though?
No, it's not. They have the battle pass access over on the like right side of this teaser image with a whole bunch of stuff underneath of it that makes you think that there's more value to it, but that's just the shit from the fucking battle pass. It's nothing new. It's just the battle pass. So other than if you wanted to buy the battle pass straight up on your own, you would get that stuff anyway. The only thing new with this reward is the levels, the Bravo pack, the epic bundle, and then throughout a season you get a piece of this legendary skin that they're going to be advertising. The first one is a Warden legendary skin, so if you stay subbed throughout the season, you get all 3 legendary pieces from that bundle.
Wait, so they're not even
So it's effectively a $30 legendary skin.
Wow. Okay.
It's bad, man. It's real
That's
bad.
scummy.
Like I said,
that is so scummy.
and there is a yearly thing for it. If you don't want to do the $10 a month, you can do it for $80 for a year. But even then, I don't see the value in it. I don't see the value in it whatsoever. Like it's.
I mean, that's like the $80 a year is a little bit better, but like you're still locking yourself in. It's like a yearly sub for a while. You're still locking yourself into a year worth of basically feeling like you have to play that game every fucking day.
I mean,
you
if
know?
you think about it, in like, this would make sense if it was a free to play game.
It would,
But
yeah,
the-
no,
but-
100%.
But this is a premium game. You pay for entry
agree.
into this
Yep.
game. They have.
I agree.
I swear they're going to turn Rainbow Six Siege.
That's
into
what I
a
was gonna
free-to-play
say. I
eventually,
think this is maybe them
but-
doing that.
but they aren't there yet, and I can't.
do you
I
do you
can't
think that
see
they'll
the value in it because
do you think that they
I
would
get what
do
they're
that?
doing. They want that yearly money like the yearly releases of Call of Duty do, and I do. I think they'll end
Well,
up making Rainbow
the
Six Siege.
reason why I say that is like, do you think they would do that? Because wouldn't at that point Rainbow Six Siege would be in direct contention with XDefiant at that point?
No. Your X-Defiant players are not your Rainbow Six
Yeah.
Siege players, and vice versa.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
they're
so
not. They're not.
I don't see that being an issue, and I honestly see Ubisoft going hard into the free to play model. The only reason they haven't done it with this game in particular is because of the cheating issues, and people kind of hard locked into that. They still use that premium like as a barrier of entry to make cheating a little bit
I mean,
less.
But to be fair on that end, you can get a fucking key for it for $10. Like it's not. It's you
You
can
get a key for it for $10, and then every season starts out with a weekend where it's like 80% off on sale. So
right.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much it that really deters that whole thing. I mean, I don't know. I think this is like people
this
in
is
chat are
ultimate
kind of
corporate
saying,
greed.
yeah, this is something where it's like trying to go the Fortnite crew route.
I'm just I'm curious if this is like them like finally just kind of admitting to themselves that their other games aren't doing well and they're just leaning very extremely
They've
heavily
known that
on
for
the
a
game.
while, though.
I know that they've known that, but have they
Siege has been
admitted
carrying
it?
Ubisoft for a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Have they finally admitted? Okay, let's give up the lint. Siege is our fucking cash cow. Let's just lean more heavily into that, which is a bad idea because like Siege players are obviously, I'm assuming at least. I've seen a lot of people stating that this is the stupidest decision they've ever seen for them, but I'm assuming Rainbow Six Siege players are not happy about this. Yes.
Nobody.
No,
Not a
it
single
got
person.
booed during the fucking preview at
Yeah,
the last
I was
major.
like,
It was
I'm
fucking bad.
99.999% sure the Siege players are pretty not happy with this. But yeah, this just to me seems like it's just them being like, well, Siege is our best performing game that we have right now. Let's just try and do as much as we can to get money out of that before we kill it. Essentially.
Yeah.
The sad
Yeah,
thing is that.
it's-
Oh, go ahead, Bill.
No, you go ahead.
I say the sad thing about this is that I actually think that a monthly subscription membership like this could work if it was really of significant
It would have to be
decent
significant.
value.
Yeah,
You know,
value for sure.
The
I-
value's not there.
Right.
So the old way Siege used to do things before they like hard leaned into the battle pass system is they had a monthly thing that you could not a monthly. It was that started like each season had its own thing where you could get instant access to the operator and got increased renown gains and a in-store discount.
Wait, is
that
that
used
that
to be
gone
the
now?
thing before the battle pass. Yeah, because when they brought the battle pass in, they removed that.
No, I
So-
still get that. Whenever you buy, well, at least when you buy the battle pass, you get all that.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
They bundled it into the battle pass,
Oh,
but
oh.
it used to be its own thing, and it used to be more. Like I don't think they correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they have the renown boost anymore. I think it's
Yeah.
just the 10% in store.
No, I don't think you get the renown boost. No, you just get
Yeah.
the cheaper discount for the store.
Yeah. So
yeah,
if they would bring something like that into this, then maybe. But if I have the option between paying $10 a season for a battle pass, if I like the skins that are in the battle pass, and it's full transparency on that, like I look at the battle pass, I can go through each of the tiers way ahead of time and be like, okay, there's some stuff in here I actually like. Or if I'm not super sold on it, I can see how much I play that season. And once I've unlocked a sufficient amount of stuff in the free to play battle pass, I'm like, okay, I'll pay the $10 and like get the premium stuff.
That's how I work with battle passes as well. Is like once I've unlocked a certain amount of like progression in it, then I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I can see myself finishing this out, and then I'll pay for it.
They
Or if it's
tried-
something like Helldivers where they don't remove access to it, that I think, and it's never going to happen. But I think that every company should go to that kind of battle pass. To me personally, I
Yeah.
think that should be how it is.
I agree.
That's why I like Halos.
They try to make you get the battle pass
yeah.
early because if you get the battle pass, you progress in the battle pass faster. But
I also
well,
don't-
they also lock you. Yeah, they also lock you into FOMO where it's like I have to play every day or else I'm gonna fuck myself for the battle pass progression. So
Yeah.
what I also
if there's
don't
proper value with this, I could see it, but the value's not there. $30 a season for this when I could spend $10 for a battle pass.
I mean, what stops somebody from just signing up for this membership right before the battle pass kicks off and then canceling it right after?
What do you mean?
Well, they wouldn't get the final like 3 that final skin. That would be what would,
I mean, I don't play Warden. I don't give a fuck about Warden.
Yeah, they part out the legendary skin pieces for throughout the season.
Yeah.
And then each season is a different epic bundle. So if the epic bundle is something that you like and you think it's worth $10, maybe.
I'm just wondering because on here it also says enroll between June 11th and June 18th for bonus rewards. So is the bonus rewards that Ash skin or is that?
Yeah, it's there for initial bonus rewards. You're getting an extra Ash bundle.
You know what else that tells me is that they know it's not worth it. Like they're throwing so much randomness into it that it's just kind of like
you get for that initial uptake, you get the Ash bundle and you get a little pack of Rainbow Six credits for the store.
Yeah, so, I don't know. To me, like if it was not, if it was like $9, hey, you know what? Sign up for a membership, $9.99. You're gonna get, you know, maybe not full. You're gonna get $5 worth of credit, and we're gonna give you some bullshit, you know, a Bravo pack, and you're gonna get, you know, this kind of stuff every single, you know. Okay, maybe I can see, but like, yeah, I don't know. This is just not a good way of doing it.
Value is definitely not worth what you're getting out of that for sure. It's for the value for money is like you said, like $30 when I can just spend $10, get access to the season pass and get everything in the season pass. It just doesn't feel like that's worth it to me.
Yeah. And then
nobody's happy about this. Rainbow Six Siege is trying to kill their game for some reason after having a good time.
They showed off the new operators too. The new operation is the New Blood. That's the
is that the
recruit rework?
Recruit, yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's the recruit and the well, I forgot. It's Striker and what's the other one? What's the other dude's name?
Striker and Sentry.
Sentry. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's the recruits. They're making them actual characters. They're not going to put like faces to them or anything. So they're going to be like stand-in player characters. I've seen mixed opinions on the recruit rework. A lot of people are like, why the hell are they worrying about this when they could have just brought a new operator into the game? They did kind of do cool with it. So their whole shtick is they don't have like a unique gadget, but they're able to bring 2 of any of the secondary gadgets depending on what side they're on. So Striker is going to be an attacker recruit. Sentry is a defender recruit. So you can bring like a bulletproof shield and barbed wire, or you could bring impact grenades and a nitro cell. It's neat. It was something that old recruits could already do, but they had a limited pool that they can pick from. Like old recruits couldn't take the Impact EMP and a hard breach tool. New recruit can, so they are a self-sufficient hard breacher at that point.
You think that they maybe
kinda nice.
overpowered it a little bit with that because
No. I think
because they don't have a special ability, right? Like there's
they
no
don't have a
special
special
for recruit.
ability, and
Yeah.
they took away the ability for them to pick any gun from the faction that they were in. So the old recruits, you picked a recruit from a faction, and it kind of gave
Yeah.
you a free reign of the weaponry from that faction. They are hard stuck with their loadouts. I think Striker has the M4 and the
it's
saw.
right there. Yeah, we just showed it.
Yep, and Sentry has the Commando and the German shotgun. So I've seen mixed opinions. A lot
Interesting.
of people don't like that the guns are locked hard. This is also going to make it so that you cannot recruit rush anymore. You can only have one recruit per team since they are full operator status. A lot of people think that kind of kills one of the last remnants of old school Siege. Not even strats. It was a trolley strat, but it was fun.
And what the hell is the recruit rush?
Everybody picks recruit with an LMG and flashbangs, and they just rush the site. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and none of the recruits have a shield option, which recruit shield was one of the premier ways to play after they did the shield rework. So
it's down from me. Get him out of here. Fuck him.
I fucking hate shields. I still hate shields. Anyway, all right. Well, cool. Well, there you go.
That's kind of cool. I like the change to that, but then definitely
I like the recruit rework, but
yeah, they have a good thing in their recruit rework, but then it's completely like like thrown out the window by their bullshit membership.
Well, welcome to the era of fucking video games that we live in. It's now, we have one good thing for a little bit, but nope, we're gonna fucking trounce on it the next week. So
I definitely do like stand by what I'm stating or by what I stated earlier, where I feel like they're just leaning on the fact that Rainbow Six Siege is their best selling game, their best performer, and they're just gonna ride its coattails into its death.
You know what? Let's talk. Sony. Let's talk about them and what they think their best performer, or actually is their most profitable generation to date. Sony states that the PS5 is the most profitable generation to date, in spite of the fact that 50% of their PSN player base, which is what Sony last week came out when they were talking about their they did like their quarterly review and all this kind of stuff, came out and we're talking about like this, the way that they're measuring success is now based off of their PSN accounts, right? And how many people are using PSN,
which would make sense what they did to fucking
but they're saying that this is the most profitable generation to date, even though 50% of their PSN is actually on PS4 and 50% is on PS5.
I saw something about Call of Duty, like half of all Call of Duty people that are playing on PlayStation are playing on PlayStation 4.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
more than half or something like that. I can't remember what the numbers were.
There's no reason to upgrade if they're going to continue to make it for past gen.
This will be the last time that they do it. This is the be like here's what, like, a lot of people are saying. I still
can't believe that this Call of Duty is going to be still on the prior gen systems.
PlayStation 4. Yeah,
they can't. And the old Xbox.
They can't kill it. They can't.
It's wild to me that we had games like Cyberpunk that released on the old systems. Like, dude, that baffled my mind.
This will
be when they were like, yeah, it's going to be on PlayStation 4
if I'm not
and
mistaken,
Xbox One.
I think this will be the longest running active generation of being actively developed for in video game history. Once the
PS4, Xbox,
Xbox One. Like, that will be the longest running generation being actively developed for, because again, though games are not actively coming out for it, it's still, you have a backwards port like this. But here's the problem. Like, these, the big, well, not three, because Sony or Switch doesn't do it, but like Sony and Microsoft, they're digging themselves a hole because the longer that you do this, right, there's no reason for people to upgrade. Like, like, if their game is Warzone, why the fuck are they going to go and buy $500 to just have a prettier version of Warzone? They're not.
Right.
Like, Fortnite, one of the worst things that these companies did was allow Fortnite to be on their fucking past gen consoles. You know why? Fortnite was still one of the most played games. Why are people going to fucking why are they going to do it until Fortnite becomes a game that's just unplayable on those systems? Which fucking Epic's not going to do, because then that kills their money. Like, they're just not like, they're not going to upgrade. It's just not going to happen. So
Yeah,
you know,
and I see in chat that it's pro consumer, and it is pro consumer, but it's also kind of holding the industry back. It's a pigeonhole on
Well-
true next gen progression in certain aspects.
Yeah, I don't honestly believe that was like being pro consumer was the decision making section
No, it's
behind
pro
that.
money.
Yeah. It had
Yeah.
nothing to do with we want to make sure that all of our players, on no matter what, get to play their games. It was that we can make as much money as possible, given we have a lot of people on that specific console. So
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's,
well, yeah,
it's
no, it
And this
definitely
goes
is.
for both people,
Yeah,
or both
yeah.
sides, Sony and Xbox. Like, there's a reason why they're still doing it on both.
what's wild though is that this is, they have, I mean, that this is the most profitable generation to date, even though half of their user base is still on old generation tech.
Yeah.
Um,
And I find that weird that it's the most profitable in regards to sales, because if you scroll down a little bit further, that chart, it's only like $1 billion off from meeting PS4 sales over the 7 years that the PS4 is going. It's only been year 4.
Is
So
is this profitability? Is this just off of console sales, or is this off of console sales and game sales?
I believe that is console sales,
Is it just off of console sales? Okay.
because I think operating income is where it comes into with games and
Possibly.
the
yeah.
subservice and stuff like that.
I'm curious to see if that's the case, because my
You know,
only
no,
point
I take
would
that
just
back.
be
I think sales might be games included, because if you look back, PS3, PS2, and, well, I don't know.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Operating
If-
income is low on PS3 and back, and then it
If-
just
if it
skyrockets
is-
with PS4.
If it is, I'm almost curious how much of that would be the shift to $70 video games at that point.
I mean,
at
very well could be.
I mean, a $10 bump is not going to generate that much more.
It's,
I mean,
it's $10 is a lot.
right,
If
but you're
multiple millions of dollars, or multiple million people are fucking paying $10 more. That's a huge bump in consideration that
I would
wasn't the same way
probably
previous.
argue it. I would probably argue it's more the subscription service, the
it's
PlayStation
very
Network
possible.
sub.
I'm just going off on a
It-
possibility here.
It could
but
be. And if Xbox
That-
shows a similar growth compared to the last generation, then that would
Well,
that would be
that's-
the case too.
that, and the fact that it wasn't there for a long time in at the start of the pandemic. Wasn't PlayStation the only console that you could really get your hands on reliably?
No,
Weren't they one of the ones?
No,
like,
it was
I
the
don't think it was
opposite.
Xbox. Was it
Yeah,
Xbox? Okay.
Xbox, yeah.
Xbox is the one you could get
I
a
thought
hold
it
of.
was vice versa.
PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah,
For like
so
the first year and a half, PlayStation's
I
it
got
was impossible to find them.
this
Okay.
line right here makes me think that this is talking about games as well, because it says, but in the context of that boom, the fact that the games have never been as more expensive as they are now, and that Sony has only raised the price of the PS5, that would be the most profitable, is not a huge shock. So this is
Okay, so it is games and-
I
games.
I
as
think
well.
that's a good deal to deal. You know, $10 isn't a lot, but like again, if you've
Well,
got multiple,
I mean,
multiple
the other
hundreds
side
of
of it
thousands
though
of people.
is that you don't have, in past generations, Sony, well, and Microsoft both have, whenever they've come out with a Slim, they will chunk down the version before,
Yeah.
they'll discount the it's
Very
called
true.
We
it's
haven't
called
got that yet.
PS Fat, right? Like that's what it's called. And so that one has not been brought down, right? So that's still the same. And there's not even
Very
talks
true.
that like
Yeah.
the new Pro that is inevitably coming out probably within the next couple of months, that actually is going to go reverse. It's going to go, the PS5 is still going to hold its $500 price tag, and that's going to be a $600, $700 system. I can't see that being successful with, I'm like, dude, will there be people that will buy a $700 system? But you're starting to very fast creep into the world of PC gaming. And with Sony moving
Well,
their games,
They've already moved past that, haven't they? Like, isn't a PlayStation like $600-700 right now, or something
PS5
along those
is
lines?
500.
It's 500. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that was the biggest issue with like PlayStation versus PC or console versus PC was like everybody was like, yeah, but I can go out and buy a console, regardless if it was Xbox or PlayStation, for like $200, $300, right? Once they crested that $400-500 range, you're in the range of a cheap fucking PC at that point. Like they've already crossed that. They've been crossed that for a long time. So
Yeah. I'm just wild to think that the Pro is going to end up being. I think the rumored cost is 650 and 700. Like that is wild to me.
It is.
But that will be the rumored cost again. It's all rumors right now. So
Yeah.
Anything else we want to talk about this before we go into the other Sony news, which is the state of play?
Nah, I think
we've got before we go into the state of play, don't we have another one for at the bottom right there?
What, at the bottom right where are you talking about the
I highlighted it.
Mother
Look at the
trucker.
fucking-
I'm
look at
trying
the
to run a
shit.
show and you're over here highlighting stuff.
Look at the shit. If you ran the show
I-
better and looked, you would know that there's another PlayStation thing.
Okay. Hey, guess what, guys? Hands off the wheel. Go ahead, Enigma, run the show. I'll be back.
No, fucking do it right there.
I'll wait. Go ahead.
Oh goodness, go,
No,
go,
make the scene change, Enigma. Go ahead. Go ahead.
go.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't even know if I have. Where is that at? I don't know. I have
it's
that
highlighted. I have it right there.
live service. Is that this? Game Informer. Yes, it's this one. It was going to be after the state of play, asshole.
Okay,
But I guess we'll fucking do it.
I
We'll
didn't
go
know
on
if you wanted to do before the
Enigma's
PlayStation
time
State of Play
versus
or
the way
after.
that I set up the show. Let's
Mom
go
and
ahead.
Dad are
and-
fighting, guys. I'm sorry that you had to see this. It's really embarrassing. I always have friends over, and then they get into it in front of everybody and make a scene.
Oh man, why can't you love me the way I am, Enigma?
'Cause you need to be better.
Man, fine. I'll go to the gym. I see you looking at all the other hosts. All right. So PlayStation says that live service games will launch day and date on PC, but single player games won't. This is, I don't know. Okay. The PC player in me thinks this is fucking stupid. The person that is trying to warrant spending money on a PlayStation so that I can buy NCAA 25 is like, okay, well, at least I'll be able to have a reason to fucking own it. PlayStation.
I understand the reasoning. Do I agree with it? No, but I understand the reasoning. They're wanting
don't.
those live service games to have as much of a population spike as possible, as quickly as possible, and delaying them for the year like they do with the single player games is going to neuter that initial player count, so that by the time it gets brought to PC, there's nobody playing it and there's no reason to pick up the game. That I understand. What I don't understand is why wouldn't you want to ride the hype of a single player release by also releasing it on PC? And
exactly that same like mentality could be applied to the single player as well.
For
like
sure.
Like Ghost of Tsushima was extremely successful on PC, but there's always that question of if it had released day one, could it have been more
better?
successful?
Well,
right? Like it could.
I'm sure they've
people?
got the data that's showing that there's. Well, they've never really done a PC
They've
day
never
one.
done it, yeah.
Yeah, so they wouldn't know.
Here's what I think is happening, right? I think that they're coming in and going, like, I think you're spot on, Bill, with live service. Makes sense. We need as many player bases in this. Maybe it would have saved Foam Stars. Who fucking knows? But
it definitely would have.
I don't know about that.
That's on Square Enix, though. That's Square Enix problem.
I'm just saying, in general, sure, like whatever, like, but I think what they're going and saying is like, hey, we know for a fact that Ghost of Tsushima is fucking wanted by everybody. We can hold it and say, hey, you can go buy a PlayStation and play it right now, or you can wait. And then we're gonna get that second pop because we know that you're gonna go fucking buy it. Like, and people like myself and you, Enigma, where we're like, now fuck you. Like we're not going to do it, right? Are the minority, whereas the majority of people are like, oh yeah, fuck no, I'm going to go buy it. Like I'm going to go pick it up right now. And so they get that second pop, that second wave, that second everything.
my mentality behind it, and this is just me being a pessimist and an asshole because I don't like the decision making skills of Sony these days, is that they're wanting to basically almost gatekeep to an extent their better content, their single player content, which is what they're known for, while at the same time pushing their shit to PC to test that market to an extent, right? Like that's my mentality behind it. And again, I fully understand that that's just me being an asshole and a pessimist and not liking the decision making skills, right? Like I fully understand that. I fully get that.
Yeah.
I'm not stating that I'm correct. I'm just stating that in my mind, when I'm looking at this decision making skill, that there this decision making, this decision being made, to me, that's what it feels to me as a PC player, is like, oh, we're gonna push our shit content off on you guys, and we're gonna gatekeep and keep our best content for our true player base. Essentially,
this is this is an effort to try to on both parts, right? This isn't just Sony, by the way. Like Microsoft is going through, if not worse, the same shit of like, how the fuck do we stay relevant in this world, right? Because this has been a race that has been going on and a line drawn in the sand a long time ago, and both of these guys, these companies, have not thought this through of like, hey, what happens in a place where gaming no longer becomes about where you're gaming at, right? It now becomes, we want to be able to game everywhere, right? This right here, with Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact and Honkai has more player base. Fortnite, fucking Call of Duty Warzone, right? It's all right here. I can play it all on my phone. Like, what happens when we no longer get to a place where our consoles matter? What do we do? And that's these companies trying to make themselves still relevant, of saying, well, you if you want first access, then you're gonna get it. You're gonna get you're gonna go get it, here first. And that's this, right? Like I think Sony is, and I honest to God, I think Microsoft would have done the same thing if they had not put their foot in their mouths enough times of being like, oh no, we're gonna play everywhere. Like we do praise them about saying Game Pass, and like they've pushed this and they want you to play everywhere, but I believe that they are still in the, that same mindset of like, well, our consoles, like we need to be relevant. Like we have to keep this stuff relevant. And how do we do that? And I think this is Sony kind of saying that too. Like, we don't want but where my issue comes in with Sony on this, right? And I said this the last cast, and I said this 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to continue to say this until somebody fucking listens. If you are going to do this, and you are going to hold these studios, and you, that's what you're doing. Like, it's not you're holding your own self hostage. You're holding these studios hostage to a fucking number and a KPI that they have got to hit to be deemed successful. And they are only a single player game that can only be played on your console, right? Then you better damn well be able to know that that number is going to be able to be hit, and not have some arbitrary bullshit and kind of saying like, we're really upset with how Final Fantasy 16 performed, or we're really upset with how, Final Fantasy 7 performed, or whatever, Rebirth, and you're like, saying that they're failures when
and granted was that wasn't Sony, that was specifically
Square, but
yeah,
it's due in large part to the Sony deal,
right?
No, I get that, but Square was the one that came out and said that essentially that they hadn't come out and they hadn't met those numbers. I understand what you're saying, but I'm just wanting to be above the board. That wasn't Sony.
I'm not right, but Sony plays a heavy hand in that, right?
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree completely with that.
It's one of those things. So if you're gonna hold them hostage, then make it real, and make it reality. Because the only thing that these game companies have is the fact that they can spend billions and billions of dollars on these games, or millions and millions of dollars on these games, whereas your indie devs, they can't do that. Indie devs can't spend millions and millions unless you're fucking Star Citizen, but they can't spend millions and millions of dollars, on these games, but they're successful, and I just, that's my whole thing with this. That's where I don't understand. I'm like, you hold a knife to their throat saying you've got to hit, a fucking 170 million units sold, but you're only going to be able to do it on, a console that only has 150 million people playing it. Like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to do that?
It definitely annoys me because it's definitely the way that it reads and the way that it was kind of I stated almost was it definitely felt like it. And again, I completely understand. I am on the outskirts of that, right? Like I'm on the outskirts. I'm one of the guys that's like it should be playable anywhere, no matter where you're at. I know that's never gonna happen because the fucking arbitrary bullshit of console wars is for some reason continuously fucking being re-upped. I don't know why. We're 2024. You shouldn't be making wars about the fucking plastic box that you play games on. It's a fucking joke. But to me, it definitely does feel like PC is being used as like a test bed for their shit games, the games that they're not really sure are going to be successful or really aren't sure are going to be successful on the PlayStations alone, right? But they're basically like we're gonna withhold our top sellers or our big sellers for this specific market that we're 100% sure is going to be 100% on our games. Whereas like if we released it to PC, we're not 100% on it. There's only one way to be 100% on it. Do it. See how it fucking works out. Yeah, I guarantee you you'll like the fucking outcome. You're gonna make a lot more money.
Do you think Ragnarok? Because
I don't understand it.
Ragnarok, I mean, was a success, but I don't think it was nearly. It wasn't the success that they were wanting, comparable to the original God of War. Do you think if they would have released Ragnarok on PC, it would have, or day and date, it would have?
I mean, it would have done better financially. It would definitely would have done better financially because you would have had two markets.
Yeah, and I would argue that PC market would outpace the whatever sales they got off of consoles.
What? So I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Because I do know that I do.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I do know that Ragnarok. The only reason why Ragnarok didn't really do well was because a lot of people stated that it was more of the samey bullshit. Right. That was why a lot of people were pissed off about it. Was they felt like they were just playing, God of War with a different skin. Whatever the previous God of War was. That was why a lot of people were not too happy about it. I don't know necessarily if that would have been the case on PC because again, we don't have access to that. So that would have been our first real forte into, God of War at that point on that specific, anthology or whatever you want to call
it. What do you think? And we'll move on to the state of play, but what do you think the reality of it is that PlayStation is going to, within the next 2 years, revamp PlayStation Plus again, launch their own thing, server, whatever fucking launcher on, PC and charge a premium. They're not going to do like the bullshit that Sony or Microsoft is doing with the $9.99 Game Pass for PC, but they're going to go $20 a month and you get PlayStation day and date, but also you can play it on your PC for $20.
I don't think they can get away with that. I think they would have to have a PC only sub service if they're going to go that route, and I genuinely don't see them trying to compete with Game Pass in that way. Game Pass has too much of a heavy hand on that aspect of things that they need to do something different. If they try to compete directly, it's not going to end well for them on that regard.
I just know that all the stuff that they did with Helldivers and Ghost of Tsushima, they want their control.
Well, they want those
accounts over the PSN.
It's not that they want control; it's that they want those accounts. They want to be able to take those numbers. We literally just stated it. They're basing their success off of the number of PlayStation Network accounts, right?
Yeah,
that's their new basis of success. Is how many PlayStation Network accounts do I have? I can take that to my my board members and be like, hey, we have multiple millions of PlayStation Network accounts now. Pay us more money, right? But that's the whole thing is like it could have a lot to do with control. I'm not stating that that's not the case, but I do get where you're coming from. But I do agree with Bill. I don't know. I don't think that they would necessarily want to do that. I don't know if they could compete with that at this point unless Xbox Game Pass fails,
which we still haven't seen numbers on that. And I'm curious on what those numbers are if they're shutting down studios like that. That's my only concern with Game Pass is if they're not being successful enough to keep studios around, then how good is Game Pass actually doing?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about state of play. So we're state of play happened today. Our gracious host Enigma actually co-streamed it. You can go on his Twitch channel and watch it. But we are watching the live version from PlayStation, or the VOD from PlayStation. Okay, so I get maybe we're at different opinion. I didn't get to watch it. Like, I wasn't like paying ultimate attention, sole attention. I had to work. I wasn't able to pay like sole attention to it. But when I was watching it, I was actually, I mean, I didn't think it was terrible. Like I
Sin watched the one section. And he was
dude,
like, "Oh fuck yeah!" And then he was like, "That's the only decision making he needed." To
look, I am a PvP fucking multiplayer person. You know what they showed on here? Concord, PvP focused. Marvel Rivals, PvP focused. A couple other games that were multiplayer. I'm like, no, all right, I'm down. Like, I'm all about it. So, you know, and we got a bunch of PC games that are coming out. So I'm like, all right, cool. So what we're watching, we're about to see from Firewalk Studios is Concord. That's what's on here right now. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Because not only do we have Concord, we have Overwatch, we have Marvel Rivals, we also have that Star Wars fucking hero shooter that's coming out. There is Deadlock, which is that, you know, the Valve one coming out.
Paladins.
You have Paladins, you know, all that. Is this the new thing? Hero shooters is the new wave now? Like,
I mean, I think it's been the new thing for a long time. We've seen a lot of people trying to come out with hero shooters and failing miserably on them for the past, I don't know how long, like 5 or 6 years. Really, it's been a really popular franchise.
Ever since Overwatch won Game of the Year.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
I thought the CGI cutscene was really fucking good. I think graphically, they're doing what Sony does best. They put out really good quality looking CGI.
I thought the graphics quality of the CGI was really good, and the banter and like the underlying tones of the entire
writing's great.
Yeah, the writing was really good. Where that kind of ended for me was when they went into the actual gameplay, because my thought process behind it, I was watching this, I was like, oh, this is gonna be dope. Like I'm looking at this as like, oh, this is gonna be like a single player like adventure game, or like a co-op like adventure game, kind of like Destiny, right? Or something along those lines, right? And then they get into the PvP match and it's a hero shooter, and I was like, what the fuck?
Where is the fucking the damn?
It's later on. It's after this.
They spent a ton of time on the CGI.
Yeah,
it threw me through a loop on that. Like, it's definitely got promise. It's got interesting. They're definitely leaning heavy into the world building, which I think is going to be a big thing. But it's hard to get invested in the world building without a PvE style.
That's
mode.
what I was gonna. It's
like,
it's
they
just
can have
weird.
the multiplayer be the central focus, but it just feels weird to be so story invested with it only being a PvP style.
That's where it threw me, because like when I finally saw the gameplay, my first initial impression, and I said it on my stream, I was like, this looks like Destiny.
Yeah, so when you said that, I was like, what are you fucking talking about? And then Destiny, now looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? This is literally almost a direct rip.
It makes sense when you dig into it and you kind of look at it. These are ex-Destiny devs.
Dude,
so Firewalk Studio or whatever it's called are ex-Destiny devs. So it makes sense. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But to make it a hero shooter and not like Destiny that has those PvE portions to it, it almost like nullifies the good world building and the good writing and everything like that to me. Like, because you're not going to pay attention to that in a PvP game. Like, what?
No.
Yeah, when I saw, like, so the one chick is 100% a warlock. When she throws down the fucking wall, the grenade that like hits the wall and then like blows up. Like, now I see it. Now I get it. I'm like, oh yeah,
there's a chick that's floating around and like floating through the air. Warlock, 100%. There's a hunter with the dude with the hand cannons. It's 100%. Like, when I watched it the first time, I was like, this is literally just Destiny. Like, is this a new expansion for Destiny?
I mean, which I get. I mean, again, I don't like. I liked Destiny PvP, and
it makes sense if they went down the route of, again, like being a Destiny-esque, where it's like it's part PvE but also part PvP. Right?
Everything is fucking
it makes sense. Yeah, well, you know, whatever. It makes sense if they would have went down that route to me. But to be a hero shooter and just a complete PvP shooter, just I feel like they're just wasting time
I don't
with-
know.
with
I
the
mean,
whole-
yes, I think with
it
the
has
world
promise.
building,
I don't think it looks bad.
I don't either. Yeah.
I
But
don't.
in a
Yeah.
saturated market, is it going to stand out enough?
Yeah.
And was this one of the ones that's going to be coming out on PC and
Yes.
PlayStation
Yes.
simultaneously?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's going to help it a ton, I think.
Which means it's a live service.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
definitely a live service.
it's a hero shooter. It's going to be a live service. Mike, I wonder, it's not. Is it free to play though? Is that, or is this?
I don't know. They haven't released any information on that, but
I mean, again, I don't think like hero shooters are. I mean, again, I'm so fucking pumped for Marvel Rivals. I'm a Marvel fan, so but the game was also good, and you know, it was a hero shooter, and I don't see problems with hero shooters. You know, I think that if they would have done the world building, had the single player, I think that this would have been a game that actually probably would have failed. Not saying that it's going to succeed as it is, but I think that it would have failed more or quicker because you have to split your team now and saying, hey, we got to develop this whole entire world. And then we also have to develop the PvP aspect and balance that.
But they're already doing that. They've already stated that they're already doing, like, they're moving into like weekly updates. Whenever you come in, you're getting like a fresh new cutscene of like what's been happening for the entire week that you've been playing
you're just
with these free gunners, right?
yeah,
like
but
it just makes it's
look at
weird,
what
man.
Overwatch did though with theirs. Like, I think a lot of people forget that they had the same thing where they would do the weekly or monthly or whatever. Like, oh, it was like a quick update of like, hey, this is what was going on with with Tracer, right? And what Tracer was doing, you know, behind the scenes, and like a lore behind who Tracer is. And then they also did the same thing with Apex. Like, Apex does that whenever they have a new character, and then they do it with like the new seasons. They have their world building that like nobody. I mean, people care.
But
like,
nobody
there's people
pays
out there that care.
attention to it. That's
Yeah, but-
what I'm trying to say. Is that nobody pays attention to it.
I think they might have a decent chance to do something a bit different. I think these like little vignettes that they're going to be doing weekly could be tied to like in-game events or whatnot for specific characters, and they could almost tie it into like a community-based challenge, kind of like what they do with Helldivers, where each week there's a certain task that you need to do with the community, and then at the end, depending on how the community does, it goes one way or the other. Make it so that there's actually like some community input, I guess is the best way to put it, with how the story is going to be progressing. If they're going to be progressing the story forward on a weekly basis, make it so that the community can interact with that story in a real way.
And this
I don't know. I think comparing though, like that's a weird comparison to compare an entirely PvE game having PvE storylines on a weekly basis to a PvP hero shooter. Like that seems like a weird comparison.
It's just trying to get you connected to the heroes. That's the only thing that. That's
I'm not trying to compare the games whatsoever. I'm just trying to
no,
compare
but that's what I'm stating is like you're comparing a PvP game that literally I guarantee you that like 90% of the player base is not going to give a fuck about that, right?
I'm not. We're not arguing that they are going to give a shit. I'm just saying the reason that they're trying to do it is to get you to be, you know, attached to these characters and to the game. Look at Siege. Siege does it with every single time they launch an operator. They have a new thing or
every
new or season.
It's the story.
Yeah. But they're not doing it weekly.
I get that they're not doing it. I'm not saying that it's a good decision to do weekly.
It's
I'm
something that
saying,
could, if people would. We'll see what happens when it comes out. I think there's potential to it. It could be just lazy.
I'm not arguing with you on that point. Yeah, I'm not arguing with you on that point. I just think it's a weird comparison. I do agree with you. I do like the fact that they're putting enough of an effort into it to be like, hey, we have updates on our characters. This is not just a PvP mode, right? Like this is not just a PvP game. We have like a deeper backstory. I just wish that. And maybe this is just my original idea of what in my mind what I saw the game being before I even saw gameplay was like this was going to be more of a Destiny game. I about said Destiny-esque. More of a Destiny game where you had PvE, but you also had higher PvP undertones of it.
Maybe it was, but then they were like, you know what, the element that is really good is the PvP, and that's what we're going to stick with. And you know,
but that's what I'm worried about is like maybe it was. And then they were like, well, let's go down the PvP route because that's going to make more money for us in the long run. Like
Well, I mean,
moving more into that live service shit that I'm not
That's pretty
digging from
speculative.
PlayStation. It is.
I think it's
I'm
always
not stating that
been-
it's
yeah.
not speculation, but
Yeah,
I don't
I think it has potential. We'll see what they do with it. There's no price point out for it right now, so I'm kind of curious what that price point is going to be. It is going to be a buy-in, though. It's not going to be a free to play.
yeah, I guarantee you it'll be 70. So
I don't think a game like this can be 70.
Yeah,
and be able
I
to
don't.
succeed.
I bet you it will be.
Here's the thing that's going to be a kicker is that
How much is Helldivers?
Helldivers was 30, but it wasn't isn't this a Sony owned franchise? Firewalk Studios is like a Sony owned franchise.
it's Sony. It's maybe it's published by them. I don't know if they're owned by.
Let me check because that's
I'm
the only
looking it
difference
up
between
right
that.
now.
Yeah, Fire.
You can pre-order.
It's Firewalk Studios,
can-
right?
Well,
They are a member of PlayStation Studios.
Yeah,
You can
so
pre-order this
that's-
game right now. What?
That's the difference between Helldivers
What's the price
and
of it?
this.
Because I couldn't find it.
Helldivers is 30.
No, not Helldivers.
Or was it
Concord-
30? I can't remember.
Concord game. I don't. Fucking,
I've been trying to find it the whole time we've been talking about this, and I haven't been able to find
it said
the
it said
pre-order
pre. I don't know. It just said pre-order and get access.
for it. Yeah,
so
that's
maybe
what
you
I've
can't-
seen too, but
40.
I don't
I'm
think the
sorry,
pre-order's up
Helldivers is
yet.
40. So,
Maybe
Okay.
it's not. Maybe it doesn't have
but
a price tag
yeah,
yet.
100%. That's speculation. I'm not stating that that's a fact. That's just my speculation of what it's going to be. I can see it being a $70 game, but that's just because I don't like $70 games. I think it's going to be, but I hope not.
Yeah. All right. They showcased this. I don't think we need to spend too much time on this, right? Like we talked about it. It's God of War Ragnarok. It's coming to PC. We all knew that this was going to be happening.
Going to require PlayStation Network.
Is it
Yep.
single?
Both it and what's the other thing that is coming to
Why?
PC?
Why are they requiring it with this? Because it's a
'Cause-
fully single player game.
Because again,
I mean, I get it. I understand that, but I'm just saying
PlayStation
why?
wants the accounts.
Why are they? I don't-
this one, and there's another one. There's another one that was going to
Yeah, this-
PlayStation Network, and I cannot remember what it is.
You're saying that that this specifically, I God of War requires a PlayStation account?
Yeah. Yep.
Why? That makes no fucking sense, dude.
Let me
What?
see if I can
There
find
is
it on
no
Twitter.
multiplayer in this.
you know,
Ugh.
I mean, it's got the roguelike element, but I don't understand. I mean, we know
Is
why.
that multiplayer?
It's no.
No,
I didn't think
really
so.
good from what I've heard, but not multiplayer.
it is.
Um,
Ragnarok $60 on Steam, so it's cheaper on Steam.
Yeah, there you go.
That's nifty. The Until Dawn remake is also going to require PlayStation Network.
they just want to boost their number, man. They're just boosting those numbers.
Yeah, dude.
But they're killing themselves because
at least they are doing it day one. But
Yeah,
after
but
the
it's
backlash
true.
with the Helldivers stuff, it's
I will-
so sour in people's
man,
mouths.
dude,
It
and
is.
they're just fucking doing this. They're okay. It's fine. It's fine. We're not gonna dwell on it. They're just.
I don't have
they're-
a problem with them as long as they're announcing it day one. I think it's just so sour from the Helldivers thing that people just don't want to do it at all at this point.
I don't have a problem with it when it's an online game, but to require it for like a single player game makes absolutely no fucking sense to me.
I just don't get it when
mean,
you're limiting it
EA,
to 200
Ubisoft,
fucking countries.
Xbox,
I agree.
they
I
all
don't
do
agree
it.
with any of that either. Like,
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I
It's
don't think that
it's
should
an
be the
industry
case.
standard to boost their numbers. So.
And to just to kind of go down the route of like physical versus non-physical and like being able to play offline and shit, like that makes no sense to me. Like if you're gonna go down that route and want to go down that route of being able to play offline, why require like is it going to require an online connection to be able to play those or what? Like it makes no sense to me. I don't know.
I
don't want to go too deep into it because it just pisses me off.
I just want to talk about this. I'm a Dynasty Warriors fan, man, and we haven't got a Dynasty
I
Warriors
was
game in a
pumped to see
while.
this.
And this is
Yeah.
fucking dope, dude. This thing looks sick. Like
Yeah.
it looks so good. And is
I
this
was very excited to see
this
it.
is a Sony only, or is this coming to? Do we know if this is coming to PC?
I think this one is a multi-plat. Let
Multi-plat?
me double
Oh,
check it
dude.
though. But yeah, I'm excited to see like a next gen version of this because it's always cool, like seeing that amount of like people. Like
Yeah.
I get that kind of feeling with like the Total War Warhammer stuff where I like zoom in on the fights and just seeing like hundreds of people just duking it out. But this one you kind of take that hero role.
And I get, dude. When I was talking about it with somebody at work today, they were just like, you know that they do this every single time, right? It's the same game. You're just beating up a bunch of people and
It
fucking
is,
over and
yeah.
over and over again. I'm like, but it's so fucking cool. Like, it's just good. I don't know. That's still only PS5. I think that's gonna be a PS5 exclusive. I don't think it's
I
gonna.
think it might be as well. And if I see anything else that would change that, I'll.
I mean, it would make sense. I don't think they've ported over any Dynasty Warriors to PC, right?
I don't know, but
no,
that
I'm just not sure if it's what's the development studio. Who does the
Omega
Dynasty Warrior
World.
games?
No, oh well, this one is Omega World. It's Dynasty Warrior Origins. I don't know who does the other ones. What was
I'm
this?
seeing one that it says Dynasty Warriors, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC in 2025. I don't think that's confirmed, but
What is this, by the way? I was not watching it live, so I just thought that this was
is
like some.
This is an open world. It's like a Genshin Light, but it's more based on like it's like Genshin Light meets Stardew meets dress up sim.
yeah, I was about to say it's like a fashion game from what I understood. It's like
Well,
it was
why
weird.
was it? Why in a
this
fashion
one
game are
was
you
weird.
fighting a big golem?
I didn't
You gotta
understand
get gems
this,
for your
man.
outfit.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't. This was one of the ones that I was just like, this is what you chose to represent PlayStation on your PlayStation State of Play. Like one. Of
I
the
mean,
biggest
look, dude,
events.
these games are. It's better than
There's
Foam
a niche
Stars.
gamer out there that likes this kind of thing.
I mean,
man.
I'm sure
It's the
there
weeb
is, but
community,
it's a
bro. Like
niche
they need
gamer
it. Like
niche.
they okay. Test in Q3 2024. I don't know. Okay, sure. I guess. I don't know. That's not my thing. That's not mine. I'm not down with Infinity. Oh my god, Infinity Nikki. What the fuck, dude? Oh, what
This
was
one
this?
actually looked cool. This
Which
this
one
one
was
looked dope.
this?
This was no, Where Winds Meet.
Yes,
This one looked pretty cool. I was actually kind of excited about this one, but I'm not. I don't think it'll be on PC. It almost reminds me kind of like Neo meets like Elden Ring in a lot of instances. Like the Elden Ring vibes that I get from it are like the enemies and the bosses, and the Neo I get from it is like the combat and like the way that it handles and everything like that. But it did give me huge Elden Ring vibes.
Wait, is it Nikkei? Nikkei is definitely a mobile dress up game, so they're just expanding on it. Oh, okay. So I didn't know that was a game that already. I mean, I know there is.
I think that's a joke.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
I don't know if it is or not, but
I know Nikkei is a game. Like, isn't that the game that Stellar Blades fucking has? Isn't that
the game
Nikkei?
that the Stellar Blade devs did, and then yeah, it's big titty android ladies.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I saw this and I definitely got the Elden Ring vibes. I was like, oh, this is the Elden Ring DLC. And then when I was like, oh wait, no, there's a little kid on your back. This is not the Elden Ring DLC. But I mean, I don't know. Do you think that? So here's my. Do you think games like that? No, this is not. This is the Ballad of Anatra and Tara. This is not Where the Winds Meet. I know what the ones you're talking about.
I thought this was Where the Winds Meet. Oh, okay.
Do you think that a game like that can
Where the Winds Meet.
survive post Elden Ring?
Yeah, I do. I think they can thrive more than ever. I genuinely do.
Because I feel like that's going to be compared so heavily.
Like CGI is cool and all.
Yeah.
But I have trouble getting excited for a CGI trailer for a game that's not going to come out until next year. So
same. Yeah.
It has my attention, but it needs to keep it.
Yeah, this
one looked kind of cool.
Skyrim VR
I actually
again.
Yeah, this is Skydance's Behemoth. This is by the developers that developed Saints and Sinners, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. So this is a PlayStation VR 2. It's one of those like the Saints and Sinners guys. Like if you've played that game was amazing, man.
Yeah,
like
one of the best VR games out there.
Just the way that it handled it, played. The gaming mechanics in it, like everything in it was really really smooth. And to me, it was a game that was like defining for VR. Like that should be the standard that we hold a lot of VR games up to, in my opinion. And this does definitely give me heavy like Skyrim vibes meets like I don't know, like Skyrim meets something.
I'm telling you though, I mark my words, this is probably the last that we will see of PlayStation VR. That it is, Sony is not happy with it. They're not happy.
They're actively trying to get it to work well with PC.
I was about to say, didn't they just
so-
didn't
Yeah,
they
but
just
that's-
come out with like a patent for a PC?
Right, but that what I'm saying
port
is
or
that's
whatever?
not. But that is not them being like, oh, we believe in this. This is them saying we need these things off the fucking shelves. We know the product is a good, but we're not going to develop it anymore. Like, go buy it for PC. Use it on
I
PC.
don't know, man.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think that
tell-
they will.
They won't. I'm telling you, man, they are not actively pushing. But Sony also did this with the last PlayStation VR. It wasn't like that they did a whole bunch with it, right? Like they had a couple games that were, decent, and okay, but nothing extraordinary. This one, I think it looks cool, right? But again,
Before we get into this, I want to backtrack to that Nikki game or whatever it is.
Nikkei or Nikkei, yeah.
Yeah. So that is a mobile franchise. It's Love Nikai Dress Up is what the mobile game is. So
Okay,
it's
so-
it's a full version of that. It's not Nikkei Goddess of Victory, the big titty android game. So
Is that a version
different
of that
franchise.
game? Is that,
different franchise. Yeah. So that is
Yeah.
what that is.
Is that
It's
the
mobile
title of it?
gaming.
Is Nikkei Big Titty Android?
yes.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, where do I get it?
This game actually I do think looks dope. And I
Alien
love
VR?
I think VR is so good for horror games. Like I really do. And I don't think there's enough of them. And I think Aliens is built perfect for fucking VR. And so this I think looks really dope. I'm hoping that it doesn't go down the route of what was that Aliens game that was really trash?
Space
Yeah.
Marines.
No.
I know which one you're talking.
Alien
about. I just don't remember
Infestation.
the name of it. That's it.
What the was it Infestation or something like that?
think
Whatever
so,
that
yeah.
that fucking terrible one was. So because they're just running the alien name into the ground, but I don't know. I think that one looked really dope. I don't want to see that one lady talk. I don't need to see this yet. I don't know what we're talking about. She didn't say anything cool. Oh, yes. The only thing that fucking mattered in this entire fucking thing. Who gave a shit about anything else?
I
Fucking
told
Marvel
you.
Rivals, dude. Oh my god.
I
Alien
swear
Isolation,
this
thank
is
you.
the only thing he watched.
Dude, oh, you're damn straight, man. I stopped my work to pay attention to this. We got Adam fucking Warlock. We got Venom showing up. Dude, like, let's go. I'm so
Are they both gonna be tanks?
I
No,
don't
they'll
know.
be healers.
Yeah. No, I think I would imagine that
Venom
think-
almost
I-
looks like he's a
well, so
I
hold on.
think
DPS.
Well, you
Venom's
just
going to be a
said that
DPS. Yeah.
T 250. No, so Venom's a tank because he's 700, and then you have Adam Warlock at 250, which I get. Venom as a tank
Adam
makes
Warlock's
sense.
gonna be a healer, and Venom's gonna be a tank.
Yeah, which I get.
Or at least a bruiser. Yeah.
I get. He's a healer. You can tell him. You can see what he's doing back there. Which
No,
that
no,
I don't.
I mean, I agree with you that he's going to be healer, but
Yeah.
like Venom, I think
Again-
might be a bruiser. He's not going to be a full tank. I don't think.
I believe he'll be a tank. 700 health. That's almost
Yeah.
that's almost what fucking Hulk has.
That's 300 off of what Hulk has. Hulk had like 900, didn't he? Or
Yeah.
200 off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, dude, I think I'm so excited about it. I've been missing this since we haven't had it. And I've been wanting to play it over and over. Like, I think, like, are you looking at this, the team up with Venom and doing all like that is dope, dude. Like,
I guarantee you, if this wasn't in the showcase, we would have came in and said, "Oh, would have been like this. This has been an ass one. Fucking PlayStation
no,
showcase. was
I've
ass."
been happy about all the games that they've shown. I've been super stoked about it, dude.
Yeah,
Going
I
back
thought
home
it was a
for fucking-
decent showcase. It's hard to get excited for games that are a year and a half off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I do think that it does look good. I'm glad that they finally gave us two, not just one, but two. Granted, we kind of already had an idea that Venom was going to come in. We already kind of knew that. I don't think we called Adam Warlock.
Yeah, I did. He
Um,
was in
but
the
it's-
files. He was
It's
in the
in
it's
the
cool
files?
that
Okay.
it's cool that he's coming, and it makes sense considering we already have half of the fucking Guardians of the Universe in the game as of right now. So it made sense to me as well. But yeah, I'm glad to see that they're actually bringing out more
Also,
content and
new
we'll be
map.
getting stuff.
new
Yeah,
map.
new-
That's
new
a brand
map,
new
yep.
map. Also, I wanted to point out, I don't know if this is how if they're gonna fix this with everything. Watch the destructibility here. Because Enigma,
I
you
saw
hated
that,
this, and
Yeah, I
it
do.
blows up,
I
and
still
then
do.
all of a sudden, whoop, like and maybe I don't know if that's like a penny,
I think
thing.
that's a penny thing. Yeah, I think that's a new penny ability or like a new penny.
or maybe that's just the
matchup or
map because
something,
it's
but
something with
I
penny.
think it might
but-
be a map specific thing.
That looked dope.
Maybe that was one of the biggest annoyances I had on the game, was just like the destructible environment just getting in your fucking way. I was just like, why is this even a thing? Like, this should not be a thing. And then the ending right there, I was like, why?
So this is Black Panther, right?
Yeah,
Like,
why did they do that with we already know
because
that
maybe
we're
they
getting
were
Black
like,
Panther.
yeah, he needs to come. We're taking him away for a little bit so that he can fucking get powered up. I don't know, because I
Maybe.
felt like he was.
I did feel like the Scarlet Spider, that's the way that they should be going, is like, instead of like exclusive heroes like Marvel Marvel what was the one with the way we're
Avengers?
it was Avengers, yes, Marvel Avengers. You remember how they made Spider-Man an console exclusive?
Yeah, I do give him costumes.
If they would have fucking went down that route, I would have been pissed.
Nah, I don't see them
But
doing
it's
that.
just a skin, right?
Yeah,
it's just a skin. Yep.
Just a skin.
So,
but it's we got the date for the beta. So the closed beta is happening in July. Super stoked about that. So
yeah, we called it. We called that, honestly.
yeah.
I think we
yeah,
called
well,
it.
I was thinking that it was going to be
middle, end
June,
of
but
July.
yeah, but I'm thinking, yeah. So
This game looks amazing.
yeah, what
This
is,
was this Where Winds Meet? I think this might have been Where Winds Meet.
maybe I thought Where Winds Meet was something different, but maybe
This gives me like big Sekiro vibes.
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's what I wrote down
and
as
I'm
well.
about that. Like,
Was Sekiro meets like I keep going back, like Sekiro meets like Neo almost.
well,
it's got like the Neo lore scape, but like Sekiro mechanics from the looks of it.
Here's my thing is that all of these games are so heavily leaning into the Elden Ring, like, you know,
Yeah, it is Where Winds Meet. Okay.
that section. And
I
I'm
don't
just
get
like,
I
are
don't
we
get
getting-
any Elden Ring from that.
How, dude?
I
Like,
didn't really get any either.
you don't get any kind of blood, like any Souls like or any like. I mean, like the big boss.
I
it's
mean,
gonna be a
Souls-like,
Souls
yeah.
like, but I
But
Well, that's what- that's what
art
I'm
direction,
saying, like-
aesthetic, like that kind of thing.
Maybe not Elden Ring. So let me
Yeah.
just say Souls like that
Neo,
element.
like
Yeah.
Neo or
Yeah.
or what's it called, for sure. I get that
Yeah.
100%. But
just-
like Elden Ring, no.
Do you think that it's just too
Listen,
much?
I think people just like hardcore action RPGs, and I think
Okay.
that's fine.
I'm not saying it's
I-
wrong. I mean, I'm just wondering if that's
Yeah.
just, you know, if they're gonna overdo it like we've gotten with a lot of other things. So
I don't think so, because like
I
I
think
don't
the
really
genre
feel
is
like we've
wide enough.
oversaturated it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been oversaturated. But
To an
not
extent,
with
yeah.
not with premium content, and we're finally getting to the point where people are actually able to make these games enjoyable, and
Yeah.
so and there's
um,
enough variation between them. I think it's fine.
And then we got this. I know that the chat that I
Until
was
Dawn.
watching lost their fucking mind when they saw this. And
Is this a new game, or is this a re-release?
It's
No,
a
this is-
re-release.
is it?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought this was another one in the Dark Anthology line.
It's not, but this was the first one. This was the OG that started that whole shtick of like.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh,
But this is old. They're just remaking it.
oh, then
so-
I'm less
And
excited
it's-
about it.
And it's coming out on PlayStation 5 and PC. So I don't think the original one was on PC, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's
I
what people
thought it-
in my
I'm
chat were
not
saying.
sure. I don't think it was.
Oh, maybe I don't know. I didn't care about those games. I still don't care
Yeah.
about those games.
They're
Like,
great. They're a lot of fun.
they're
They're
cool
a
to
lot of fun if
watch,
you play them
I
with a group.
I don't know. I just did not care enough about
It was on Windows.
It wasn't Windows. Okay.
Yeah, we got Path of Exile 2, right? We got to see that. So that was you know, I mean, but they gave us a beta, right? Which was, did they give us a date for this though? I can't remember if they gave
I
us at
don't-
the end of it.
I
I-
don't think so. No.
I thought they said that it was going beta. Hold on. I know it's couch
They might
couch
have.
co-op,
I
cross
don't remember.
progression,
Yeah,
early
they
access, late
announced-
2024. That's what it was.
There you go. Yeah, they announced couch co-op and crossplay, which I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But like the little pessimist in the back of me was like, am I going to have a PlayStation Network account to fucking play it?
I would hope you not. If it's, I don't think this is a PlayStation owned thing. Did they buy
It's not a
grinding gear?
PlayStation game.
Yeah,
No.
so, I don't know. It doesn't look as good as Diablo 4, so I'm not as excited.
Bullshit. You shut your fucking
I've
mouth.
calmed down. I'm kidding. Holy shit.
You shut your fucking mouth, sir.
Oh man. But Anyway, well, PO.
That was one of the things I liked about Diablo 4 was that it had couch co-op off the rip, and the fact that this is going to have it as well, it makes me real happy because this honestly is a game like just from the weight of like the systems in it, I have more interest in than current day Diablo 4. I'm
well,
probably
not
gonna
only
go
that,
hard into this one.
Not only that, but I like the slower gameplay of it. I feel like it's more
more Lost
more
Ark,
of a Dark Souls, like a Dark Souls game in disguise. It is,
dude,
yeah, it is.
You know what? If we ever do merch, it was going to be 100%. Now everything is just going to be, it's just Dark Souls-esque. That's esque.
I didn't say Dark Souls-esque. I said it feels like Dark Souls because it's slower.
Fucking rename this. Enigma says everything is a Dark Souls game. All right. So that was PoE 2. Did they have anything else that they wanted we should need to showcase because we're
Silent Hill.
I'm sorry,
Monster
Silent Hill
Hunter.
2. Yeah, let me get okay.
And Monster Hunter.
We're at time. I'm just trying to get through everything.
Yeah, this will have to be the last one, and then we'll have to quick go.
Nike is a Dark Souls dress up game. There's a boss fight, so it has to be.
There you go.
You know,
this is them redoing Silent Hill 2. I'm actually really excited about this because Silent Hill 2 was one of my favorite Silent Hills, and it's actually kind of touted as the best Silent Hill game.
I don't think this is coming to PC.
No,
that's fine. I'm gonna have to buy a PlayStation anyway to play NCAA 2025, so it just gives me reasons to play. So
it's gonna be a PlayStation exclusive for the time being. Also, I am really happy with how this trailer in particular turned out because I was not impressed with the Silent Hill 2 remake off of the last showcase that they did. This one kind of brought it back a little bit for me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this just brought it back to, again, they were taking a lot of liberties with that last one, and this one it feels very much brought back to what Silent Hill 2 was. So, which I'm happy about. Yeah,
I played Silent Hill games, so
you should. It's good. All right, how did you feel about Monster Hunter?
So my biggest complaint about Monster Hunter is that when they came into it, they were like, world premiere, we're giving you fresh gameplay, right? They literally showed like 2.6 seconds worth of gameplay, and it was the same fight of the same beast. I don't know. It looks good. I'm excited for it. I don't think that a lot of this was gameplay. I think it was like in game. What's it called? What's that word that they use these days? The in-game rendering or whatever. I think it's what they call it. But it looks good. I'm excited for it. Being a Monster Hunter player, I'm looking forward to it. It does seem like. So there's one instance inside of it where the dude lights off an SOS, and it almost appears like there was already people in the world. So I'm kind of wondering if this is going to be like not an MMO, but like what's the word? I'm trying
universe?
Yeah, like a persistent world where like instead of like
going back to a hub.
Yeah, instead of going back to the hub, you're just in the world, and then you can see people light off. I don't know if that's the case. That's just what it appeared to be to me. I don't know where that specific location was in the actual gameplay, but it did appear like that was the case. Other than that, it looks like it looks like a competent Monster Hunter game. We still really don't know a whole lot about it. I'm glad that they showed off the switch axe, the longsword, and the heavy bowgun. So that's we can confirm those are coming back.
That stab and drag with the great sword is dope.
This is it right here. So you see how they're already in there, and then they're like, oh, okay, there's the flare, and now they're back. They're there with him.
Well, so it might be a situation where, because this is supposed to be open world. That's what they've said.
Yeah.
And so maybe they're out doing their own.
World was open world as well, but
yeah,
that's why I'm saying that. Like, I'm curious if it's going to be like a persistent world where instead of joining up with your friend to do a mission, you can just join up on your friend's world and go and do your own thing. You know?
Yeah. I don't know.
Which, if that's the case, that's going to be dope. That's going to be huge. That's going to be a huge change. To me at least. So I'm excited for it.
Everybody lost their shit with this one.
I'm pumped about this one.
I mean, the Astrobot games are good, man. That's from what I've heard. They're like fucking amazing. Like they're the best demonstration of that controller and like utilizing it.
And that's why I'm the most excited about this, is because nothing has made the controller feel as cool as what Astra's Playroom did, and I'm glad that we're getting a full length game
Astro
of
Bot
it.
game. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm happy for you, man.
honestly, it's fucking sick. It's
So
fucking
there-
sick.
To have a successful game, you just need to make a game about how to work your controller. Apparently,
No,
I mean,
no,
dude,
remember
that's severely underselling it. That's being
I have heard
That-
nothing
I'm
but
being
amazing things
facetious,
about
Bill.
Astro Astro Playroom. Like I have heard nothing but amazing things.
I'm aware I'm being facetious.
So like, you
I
know.
when I was watching this, there one of the people that was in my chat, Flame, was like, "This is basically like Mario for Sony."
oh
kind of,
yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much." I mean, I can see the comparison.
but yeah. They chalk these things full with a bunch of like PlayStation references and stuff
Yeah,
too, which is
yeah.
kind of cool. There's like there's even the free to play one that you get with the PlayStation 5. It had like 50 plus PlayStation references, like Easter eggs and stuff in it. So I'm excited to see more.
Well, dude, just in this one, yeah, like you've got a giant fucking PlayStation right there.
Yeah,
that's
the
how they're
Wrap of
gonna.
the
That's how they're
Wrap,
gonna
and-
announce their PS5 Pros inside
Well,
this
that's,
game.
Yeah.
that's the whole shtick of this kind of thing, because the Astro's Playroom was you're inside of your PS5, like going through like the hard drive and going through the CPU, like each of those like hardware pieces was the level. So
Yeah.
Again, it's cool. Hey man,
I mean, it's cool. Hey, man, if
it
if
looks
they-
cool.
more
I'll
power to them, man.
if
Yeah.
I buy one, I'll play it because it looks dope. You know, and it's I'm sure it's gonna be amazing nonetheless. They did say that chat was saying Enigma that it is it's definitely a Souls like because they fought a boss. So it's,
It is, yeah, it
a
is
Souls-like
confirmed.
game.
This is Souls-esque.
Yeah. All right. So that wraps up the state of play. We gotta blast through these last couple things here. Unless we want to hold them to next week, but we'll go over them. It's all right.
Just
Let's go ahead
blast
and go
them,
through
man.
them. So Microsoft did confirm that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to be a day one Game Pass launch. I mean, I think that we kind of
We already knew that.
Knew that
Yeah,
this
we
was
knew
going to
that.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, they confirmed it with the different tiers, if I remember correctly. So
that was the rumor that we were
That's
talking
the
about
rumor,
last
yeah.
week,
Um,
and there's
Was that a
still
rumor?
no
Okay.
there's still no confirmation on those different
that's
tiers.
right. I forgot about that.
Yep,
Fuck.
yep. So it is coming, but though day and day to Xbox Game Pass, which
Makes
hey,
sense.
good for them. I mean, I don't. At least they're not locking this shit behind like, hey, you got to buy the game to get fucking, which I'm sure they will still do. It'll be like, hey, you can buy the game, play fucking 6 days early or some crap or whatever else. But like, at least they're not doing like, hey, buy the game. And this is the only way that you can get into Warzone right now, unless you want to wait. Like, this gives you an option to just pay $10 and get into it, or whatever your Xbox Game Pass version of this is going to be. Along with the Call of Duty news, they also showed this off. I'm really sad that Scruffy is not here for this, but oh man, this was.
Oh, I've got enough vitriol for him. Yeah, this is ridiculous, dude. This is a fucking travesty, dude.
Let me see if I can go. Hold on, I want to see if I can make it bigger so that you guys can see it. You can see it a little bit bigger there.
This is straight up them just doing everything in their possibility to fucking make as much money off of
well,
of
it's
Fallout
they're
as
both
they possibly
Microsoft
can.
owned platforms, so, or
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
IPs.
this is 100% them just being like,
oh,
it's doing really
man.
well right now. Fucking throw it in COD. Why not?
This is so funny. And if you can, I don't know if you guys can hold on. I think you guys will be able to. Let me see. You should be able to hear it. Hold on. Oh, it's really low. Fuck. I was hoping you guys were gonna be able to hear the fucking music that's playing right now.
Is it like old timey music?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You chat can hear it now. A little bit, but it's
Yeah.
it's just like this. It's so bad, man. I don't know if that's something that's actually in the game or not. Wow, now it's really loud. Fuck me. But it's
Yeah,
just,
like
I don't know.
Scruffy's saying in chat. More than anything, I feel like it's just lazy. It's like
Yeah.
it's the most tongue in cheek, laziest development that I think that I've seen in a long time ever. Probably the more lazy
They-
one that I can think of is the $1 red dot that they fucking sold. Right?
They put more effort in the Nicki Minaj skin than they did their own
Yep.
IP or their
Yep.
like Microsoft's owned IP.
They did indeed.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, this is a thing.
the
It's
worst-
out there.
The worst part about it
They
is
put
is
more
like,
effort into the boys crossovers
the-
too.
So the worst part about it is, and I know these are supposed to be quick hits, but I gotta say it, dude. you why pick a fucking vault dweller? Like you,
Yeah, why
you
not a
could have
power
picked
armor?
a fucking power armor. Like why pick a vault dweller suit? You could have had the Enclave power armor, the T60 from the Brotherhood. Literally anything would have been better than
Could have
just
been
like
some cool
a shitty
executions with
vault
those
suit.
too.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't
They
understand it.
didn't. They didn't want to put the effort in, and they wanted to get maximum profit off of
That-
it because Fallout's
that-
hot right now.
That and why make it so that like the gun shoots out plasma? Why not just make the fucking gun a plasma gun?
Or a pipe gun.
Like, I don't understand it, man.
Well, hey man. Look,
Or Ranger, exactly, or like one of the biggest ones, like a Ranger outfit, like a California Republic Ranger. Like that would have been more iconic than literally a Vault 141 suit.
Scruffy,
no
please,
sense,
please,
dude.
please tell me you're not going to buy this, right? Like I am a shill for Diablo stuff. Like, I will go ahead and say, like, since this season has dropped, I have spent $150.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
On the game. Fuck
Whatever
off.
makes you happy. bud.
Anyway, please tell me, Scruffy, that you're not gonna spend money on this.
That bought you what? One horse skin.
No, I got a bunch of stuff. I actually looked for that horse skin because I was like, you know what? I need to buy the fucking coins anyway. I might as well just buy the horse skin.
Shit.
Yeah, I know.
Scruffy
Listen,
says
I
no.
know what I am. Chat's over here fucking calling me a whale like you guys don't know what I am. I know what I am. I have emotes on my chat that are nothing but fucking whale emotes. I know what I am. Trust me. Anyway, all right. Well, that was that. We also had this was a rumor though, right? Do we know if this is 100%? I think
This
it's
is
just
a rumor.
it's just rumored
Yeah.
right now that Xbox will reportedly be referencing
It's
the-
being it's sorry
Big
it's
rumor.
being it's a big rumor, but it's being rumored by Windows Central, Jez Corden, which is, I mean, as far as rumors go, it's pretty trustworthy. But
and
Basically,
this is-
what they're planning on doing is blueprinting out the next generation of Xbox, and then kind of doing like what they do with graphics cards on PCs, where the specs are out there, and then different manufacturers can build their own model of it with like their tech, effectively.
I mean, if that's true, I think that's kind of cool. But at the same time, I'm like,
It's
wh-
just a PC
why not?
at that
Why
point.
not just build a PC?
Yeah, well, the issue that I think you're going to have there is that you're now going to start running it like we said in the very beginning. Consoles always been like, I can get my console,
One thing,
and
yeah.
I know it's this, and if you do this, now you're like, well, you know,
You got an AMD card in there that's
right.
not going to work well with
And
this, or
right.
you got
Imagine
to.
Xbox has a lot of trouble with their backporting on the Series S model. Imagine how much issues they're going to be porting with different manufacturers of their console. Like the specs, while they might be the same, the hardware is going to be real hard to play with. We're going to have a similar issue to where PC ports are kind of botched depending
Yeah.
on the setup. It's going to be very similar to that.
Nope, absolutely. Bungie had not only did Sony leak the Final Shape stuff pretty heavily, like that you
Like extremely heavily, like
you could
yeah.
play it essentially on some people got access to being able to play it, which they're pretty upset about. But Bungie did win its Destiny cheat lawsuit, an industry first. But also this was funny because not only did Bungie do this, but then Activision also
Activision won theirs too.
theirs
Yeah.
too. You know, so
What is it? What'd you say?
Activision also
Activision won
had
their anti-cheat lawsuit or their cheat
okay.
lawsuit too.
yeah, which
So
honestly
both
I'm happy
good
with.
for them. This
Yeah.
this is a big win for all of us because if these companies can, so the lawsuit was copyright infringement with the cheat makers. So if they're able to push copyright law onto cheat developers, this could be the beginning of the end for cheats unless they want to get a hefty fine, because copyright law and stuff like that, they take you to the bank.
It'll just they'll all the cheats will be outsourced to some fucking like Russian area that doesn't really get copyright infringement shit. That's the worst part about this kind of stuff. Is yeah, it's a win. I'm not taking it away from them, but like to say that it's the end of cheating is yeah, that's not, I don't think that's ever going to be the case.
I don't know. I mean, it could be. I mean, again,
It's a big hit. I do agree
because
with it. It is a big hit.
they might outsource it to other countries, but I mean, just like piracy, right? Like we're not like piracy law exists. It hasn't stopped piracy law, but piracy law is also something that is only pretty much here. Like there are piracy laws that are international, but copyright infringement laws are actually that is a world like it is kind of done across the entire world. Like it's not a. I mean, I'm not saying that they're gonna it's gonna stop at dead in its tracks, but
it's done differently across the entire world.
Right, but what I'm saying though is that the copyright infringement is something that is not outside of a few countries, mainly being some of the Eastern countries, right? Copyright and trademark infringement is fucking heavily enforced. Like it's not just a US only thing is all I'm saying. So I'm not gonna say it's gonna stop them, but it definitely could be something that we see. Good. So all right, and then the last section of news before we go to quick hits and then done. Hey, $500. Who's willing to pay that for a League of Legends skin? Anybody? No.
The worst part about this is it's a Faker like sponsored skin, and like a lot of people are pissed off about it because like Faker is notoriously known for like the first like 9/10 of his career he didn't even play with a skin.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna knock the guy for his success and what he's done.
And the skin is fucking
but that's what a lot of people are wondering is like how much of this is Faker and how much of this is Riot.
I just don't understand why $500 fucking dollars.
Yeah, it
like
makes no sense, man.
Who I'm gonna make this bigger too. Who is gonna pay?
Slick.
I haven't seen it. Is it in this?
It's really cool.
$50.
It's really good. It's a really good skin, and it's got some dope ass animations too, as well as voice lines, like custom voice lines. Like it's a whole ordeal. Like it's huge. It's a really nice skin. Definitely not $500 worth, but yeah,
I can't. Fucking $500 is so crazy, and it's just that one skin. You don't get anything else.
You get the skin, and I think you get some stuff out of like a special pass that they give you as well.
They should give you unlimited skins for $500 fucking dollars. Holy shit!
Yeah. I've seen reports of people taking loans out for it.
You gotta be, dude. Are people really buying it? If they, oh my god, man, come on, that's insane, dude. I can't imagine. A $500 skin. I mean, maybe it'll sell for more. I mean, who knows, man? Maybe you buy it.
Better play the game for me at that price. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, but look, honestly though, I mean, maybe people are hoping that it's going to be like an NFT investment. You're going to spend $500 and it's not going to be because, dude, some of the Riot skins that are out there, like Riot Kale, Riot Graves, those skins fucking sell.
Just no.
I mean, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying maybe that's their rationale for why they're doing it. I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
wild.
Riot being extreme on this one. I don't get it.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
So to get the skin, it's locked behind the they're doing the Immortalized Legends collection, and this is like the premium version of that collection. So you effectively have to get everything in that collection to get this skin.
Well, you also have to pay the premium price for it. You can pay the non-premium price and get everything below that skin. But in order to get the actual skin, you have to, I think it's like $490 or something like that. You have to get that specific.
So I got to pay for something on top of paying for the $500 skin?
Yeah, so you have the Hollow Legends Pass, which is $16. You have the Risen Legend Collection, which is $43. You have the Mortalized Legend Collection, $250.
Yes.
And that's the first one that gives you the Ahri skin is the $250 version. If you want the voice packs and everything else that goes with it, that's where the $450 version is at.
What the fuck? That's as a whale, that's insane. There's no shot.
Is Faker retiring? No, I don't believe so.
No, he's not retiring. No. It doesn't matter. That guy, I don't. That's
either
ridiculous.
way. If it's some dude retiring from fucking professional,
League of Legends is just
not worth $500.
That is fucking insane. Okay. All right. Well, now on to the quick hits. Elden Ring is topping the Steam's charts for its DLC launch. So congrats to Elden Ring. That's next month.
Did that launch?
No.
It's
before
the game's topping Steam again.
It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. People are going back to it.
And then you got CDPR officially ending support for Cyberpunk. We knew this. They're moving on to their next game, which pretty sure is probably gonna be Witcher 4. Then
Witcher 5 or 4. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, what? I was trying to read this and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. Hey guys, if you're planning on passing away, give your Steam information to somebody because you cannot transfer ownership to somebody else if they do pass away.
They say that technically you can't give your information to people as well. Like it's against the rules to give other people. Yeah, it breaks TOS. But it's like, fuck you, dude. Like this is my
who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? So yeah, just make sure it's in your will that you give your passcode to somebody.
Just a little torn off piece of paper.
Yeah. Nintendo acquires Switch port specialist Shiver Entertainment from Embracer. That's good. Anybody that can get away from Embracer is always good. Which is also hoping that we're going to get more ports of like Metroid 3. Some of the other games.
They were the ones that ported over Hogwarts Legacy and I think Mortal Kombat, if I remember correctly. So they did really good ports. So
we're hoping a lot of people are hoping that we're going to get the new, like I said, a Metroid Prime remake and all that kind of stuff.
That would be cool. And other news with Embracer, they also their CFO and COO stepped down, so they've had some upper management changes.
Fuck Embracer, I hate them. And then Steam Open World Survival Fest is going on right now. So if you do want to get some survival games like Enigma did with Aska, go pick it up. Aska, go pick it up. You can go take a look at it on sale right now. I think it's running until the end of the week. So
some really good games in that sale too. Like some of the bangers that are out there. Like Days Gone is on there for like 75% off, which is one of those ones that I've been wanting to play for a while. Pacific Drive's on there for 20% off, which that's a huge one as well. Ark is on there for 20% off. If you give a shit about Ark, I personally am not going to pay for that, but fuck them. So there's a lot of good ones. V Rising, I think, is on there.
Enigma,
so.
I have to pee. Can we wrap this up with how many games you're going to start listing off?
I was done.
We're 20 minutes over, and I've drank 2 bottles of water.
You're the one talking right now, sir.
Oh my god! All right. Anyway, episode 124 is done. It's wrapped up. Make sure that you guys go and check out our podcast on any of your favorite podcast app. Go check out all the other shows that we also do. You can go and get all of our live streams there. You can go hit the sub button, the like button. Comment down below. Go follow our shorts. Go follow our TikToks. Go follow our Twitter, our Discord. We'll see you guys next week right here live on YouTube and on Twitch, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, Thursday. Bye. We're out. See ya. Gone. I gotta go pee.
Before we leave, I need to do.
I need you to shut up.
Installation.